Hello? Hello? Ah, there we go. Okay, there we are. Wow, 3 people. It's amazing. Now let's figure out if I can figure out this whole situation. Can you hear me? Cuboid Pixel, oh my goodness, how's it going, buddy? How's it going? Let me know if you could hear me because I'm not sure. I'm pretty proud of myself. I'm technologically impaired, but I got this working. Hmm. Oh, lovely. Fantastic. Amazing. Good stuff. All right. Well, you know what? You guys joined this train wreck. Let's give you guys something to see. Yeah, it's always how it is. How's everybody doing today? Tonight, actually. What time is it? What time is it right now with you all? Look at Tone. What's he doing up here? What a goober. Nothing much, just your random watcher. Trying to get this whole streaming fad down. I'd love to get some streams done. It seems like a lot of fun. Also, I apologize for this emulator running at a snail's pace. It seems like I'm running it at 16 times the original resolution, and at face value, it was a great idea. But I think I might have to change that later on. 1040. Wow, look at that. Speaking of Tone, is his shirt white underneath, or was he shirtless? I always wondered. Hey, we'll find out. We'll find out for you right now. I think Gaffer will be a good one to test it with. How's this, Gaffer? All right, we just gotta let. There we go. No, there we are. Let's get our boy to move downwards. There we go. It seems like he's wearing an undershirt. It's like a bit of a. It's a t-shirt with almost like a bit of a quiff to it. I can't imagine being very cool in that. It's probably very hot. Oh, the nightmare fuel though. The nightmare fuel that is Gaffer No Eyes. Yeah, oh my god, that's even worse. Look at those eye sockets, they're empty. Derek Marler's here. Emo Uryu is here. I always wondered, well, now you know. Wonder no more, Uryu. We got it. Let me know. I could take requests if there's anything else that you guys are wondering. We'll do Claude. Claude shower scene. That's a classic. It's an oldie but a goodie. Motherfucker, this guy sleeping during the day. Don't you have like a job to get to or something? Look at that. He sleeps with his eyes closed. He sees with his eyes closed. Of course. Hey, pronunciation is key, right? I'm not multilingual for nothing. Yeah, languages are special. It's our ability to connect with one another, you know, and I think it's our job to try to learn some of that. It's special. So I'm running the Dark Cloud Debug ROM right now. So when I was running the regular Dark Cloud game, I was running at a smooth 60 frames per second. But I think maybe there's something with this ROM, or maybe because I'm running OBS in the background, that performance kind of took a bit of a hit. That might be why. Is there anywhere the debug camera can't go? Honestly, it can go in most areas. I'm having a hard time thinking about where it's not able to go. Because a lot of the games are rendered in real time, but the one scene that I could think of where the debug camera is not able to go into, and it's a bit of a shame, is the intro scene with the dancers. I really wanted to get a better view of that, and I think a lot of people wanted to see that as well. We're not able to do that. I think it's rendered, it's a pre-rendered cutscene as opposed to real time. Derek Marler says, if you're messing around with the debug build, then can you tell me when you get to Dark Heaven Castle? Because I have some questions about there. We'll do that right after Claude. I got you, Derek. Don't worry about it. It's gotta wait for this guy to wake up. Come on, let's go. He's still asleep. Oh my goodness. What's this wackadoo sleep schedule he has? He's asleep during the day, awake during the night. Well, who am I to talk? Yes, friends, it is currently 1:45 in the morning. But it's a Friday night. And you know, if Fridays were meant for anything, it's for streaming with your pals, right? That's what it comes down to. Goodness gracious. Well, here, we'll do some moon jumping in the meantime. Kind of kill some time. We'll see how far could we jump up. So you can see the boundaries where the level is built. It's almost like a square. Let's get a better look at that. So Udiu says, really, because we need to see where exactly the urn is located. Promo art has them breaking in, so it'd be nice to explore. Yeah, that's exactly it. That's my thought exactly. So, curiously, there's a texture for water along the border. But yeah, I agree, Udiu. Like, it would be very interesting to have a better look at that environment, because I really do think that at one point, the Dark Urn was supposed to be a playable segment, just because it was featured so prominently in the 3D promotional renders. Good, you and I are the same time zone, both Eastern. That's exactly it. Hey man, I'm a Canadian, so these time zones, whew, it's over my head. I know it's daytime, I know it's nighttime, and that's enough for me. So by now, Claude should be awake, or else there's a serious problem. He might be dead or something. We should poke him at the very least. Check his pulse. Laura's house, Paige, Claude. There we go. All right, the big reveal. Holy cannoli! See how he teleported in there? Oh my god. So first things first, let's get a look at good old Tone. He's like, what the heck did I just walk into? I don't blame him. So if you look, the dude is showering with his jeans on. Holy cannoli. I mean, I can't imagine that being very comfortable. Hey, Tone. I was in the middle of taking a bath. How about joining me in here? Nope. We're gonna nope on out of here. Ah, I see. Well, here's a good idea. He's taking a shower in the black abyss, bottomless, seamless nothingness. It's poetic. But he's also taking a shower with jeans on, so I don't know. That takes away from the poetry. Oh, cool. Montreal. Montreal's beautiful. Gintalon. Gintalon? We're not too far from Gintalon for a little while. Beautiful, beautiful area. Historic. Montreal's wonderful. Right? Uryu, he has his pants on in the middle of the bathtub. Like, what's going on here? So many questions. That's about it, huh? So what's Tone doing off screen? He's just staring at the cheese. He's like, no way, Jose. I'm not looking at you. It's giving me Harvey Weinstein vibes. I don't know if I could say that on YouTube. I should be careful. All right. Before we go to Dark Heaven Castle, is there anything else we can do here? Oh man, it's Dark Horror. Yes, you jumped in at the right moment. Any tips for pronouncing foreign words? You know, I think pronouncing foreign words, it all comes down to the pronunciation. Not pronunciation. What's the word I'm looking for? I know it in French, but I don't know it in English. The way you enunciate things. There we go. You know, I think a lot of people, they stumble on words that are foreign, almost like going down a set of stairs. I think you need to be more like water. You need to flow through it, you know? Take your time to pronunciate things. So, I believe it was Derek Marler wanted to check out, he wanted to check out Dark Heaven Castle. So we have to be smart with this debug ROM because it doesn't let us just jump into Dark Heaven Castle. We have to find out what scene it is, and that might take some trial and error. So we'll figure that out together. What scene could it be? 96? Please don't crash. Ah! Okay, let's see. What scene is this? This is... Oh my god, this is like shit. Poo, pardon me. There we go. So this is a scene with Master Utan. We have the hole, and beyond the hole, surprise, surprise, is nothing. Ah, I could tell you how we get to Dark Heaven Castle. So, here's what we're going to do, my friends. I'll give you a quick grand tour, real quick. Just explain a bit of the boundaries. I found some crazy things with the debug version, says Cuboid Pixel. Do you remember what? Can you share? I'd love to know. So E stands for environment. So that could be like Northern Village, Matataki. Curiously, Matataki doesn't work in this. It's inaccessible. S stands for scene. Interior, it ends up crashing the game, as well as dungeon. So Derek Marley says, Montreal is a beautiful place indeed. Whenever I go downtown, it doesn't feel like a modern city, but Castlevania due to all the Gothic architecture. That's exactly it. Demonetize. No, I'm not even monetized to begin with. I always wanted to beat up Master 10 and Dark Cloud 2. No, come on, don't do that. You seem like a really cool guy. So we'll go to scene 3, which is Queens. EO3, pardon me. We'll give a quick zoom out real quick though. Yeah, but Montreal's architecture is amazing. It really is. See, this area is so big. It's so vast that it's barely even running in terms of the zoom out because it's rendering everything in real time. Look at that. It's barely even going. It's quite the expansive area because even if we go beyond the barriers, and I wish we can go faster, but there's just so much going on. There we go. You can even see Rando's hut and all that as well. I'll show you what I mean. So right now what it's rendering is a very special version of Queens, a very low poly version, and I'll show you what I mean. So first we have to take our little cube, and then we get to travel with our cube. We drag our cube, and then we travel with our cube. But yeah, I promise, Derek, we'll get to Dark Heaven Castle in 2 shakes. It's just one of those things where one story leads to another. Pardon me, friends. Alright. Come on. You know what? We'll do this later. We're good. It'll be faster. Right. The Leaning Tower, Basker. So I guess an easy way to jump into Dark Heaven Castle would be to go to the Divining House and see that cutscene there. I'm surprised the camera still caught all that scene. My goodness, random viewer, it'll catch even more. It's just that because there's so much going on, it's very slow. And I'm not sure about audience retention and all that in terms of live streams. But, you know, if you guys are willing to see that all, I'd love to show you. But you can see the boundaries of the water. Again, everything is rendered in real time. It's the power of the PlayStation 2, of the Emotion Engine. Beautiful architecture. But here, I want to see... There's a way where we could... There we go. I want to see the low poly versions of those ships. When you're zooming out there, it almost really felt like you entered some sort of heaven. Tone is dead confirmed. Yeah, that's exactly it, man. It's a plot twist. M. Night Shyamalan. Come on, let's go. I've gotten quite good at operating this this weird wackadoo camera. So everything is done in low poly, so this is done to conserve power from a PlayStation 2, so it could render everything in real time, right? Check out S40. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. 101%. Now I'm curious. There's actually a lot of other secrets in terms of this debug disk that I haven't quite revealed yet. They're out there. Oh, they're out there. But, wow, I've never seen that graphical error before. There's going to be there's a lot of videos planned. I have about 33. And, there's 33 that I want to do for sure. 101%. And in the meantime, I have about 5 in the docket, like being made simultaneously. But it's one of those situations where you don't want to plan too much. I've been doing this for 3 years consistently. At first it was 2 videos a month, but recently, like with work, I work like crazy hours. It's been a little hard to keep up with that. So I dialed it down to 1 video a month, and I've been pretty happy with that. But one of the videos for the summer is going to be a big revisit of Dark Cloud's beta material, Dark Cloud 1 to be specific. And there's a lot of secret beta stuff still hidden in this debug version, and it's quite special. All right, Derek, it's a time you've been waiting for. You've been very patient. Okay. We got to turn the event mode on first. The Macho Sword. Too bad Monica can't use it right. It's Macho Madness, let me tell you. It really is. So pardon me, I have to mess up the graphics a little bit just to get to the screen. Debug on, parameter on, message, event on. Okay, yeah, so it should be there. There we go. Can you tell my fortune? Pardon me. Oh, so you're back. What kind of fortune would you like me to tell? So where is the Dark Genie now? And I apologize, but we're here. We might as well see what actually takes place. This poor lady jumps on this kid's head. All right. Are you ready? Are you ready, chat? I'm not ready. Derek, the thing about Dark Cloud 1 specifically that made me curious is how there's no real set time period. There's just stuff from every era. I was thinking about that recently too with King's car. I'm like, wow, dude has a car. No way, Jose. You ain't jumping on me. No! Alright, let's get a quick view of this girl. Crazy, man. So she jumps on the poor kid's head. We could get a better view of this animation. Poor Tone, no. Looks like he's doing like a rockin' mosh pit dance. Even with the debug camera, you can't avoid it. No. Yeah, I don't blame you. Is Tone still there? Yeah, he is, eh? Oh my god, his head gone? No, his head's still there. Poor guy. Alright, well. Again, all these scenes are taking place in the void. In the void, no one can hear you scream, Tone. I feel you, buddy. So, let's jump to Dark Heaven Castle. This is quite the big environment. So we have our work cut out for us, but this is nice because it'll give us a full view of the Dark Heaven Castle, as well as the scene of the throne room as well. So you get 2 for the price of 1. Tone is emotionless. I don't remember that at all. Well, thankfully that's over. I agree with all of you. You know, I don't remember it all day up. Yeah, I clean it from my memory every time. But Derek, if you could specifically tell me what you wanted me to check, unless you want me to go through like the whole thing, then I'd love to do that as well. I'm gonna go to the far castles that you usually don't see typically. These ones would always interest me as a child because I thought they looked like Dran's crest. There's like an interesting blur effect being done at the castle as well. Again, usually this is much faster, but this environment is so big that just moving the point of view cube is quite taxing. It takes a little while. There we go. Let's give it a quick. There we are. Rotoscope Tone and make him dancing, right? Exactly. Rotoscope animation. I think it was Fire and Ice by Ralph Bakshi. Pardon me. He used rotoscope for that, and it looked quite nice for the time. Aha! Just as I thought. To save on memory, they don't do the whole castle. They don't render it all, especially the places you won't usually see. I remember I was playing Shifters on PS2, pardon me, and there was a castle quite like this, and on the opposite side of the castle, where you wouldn't be able to see, was like a big picture of all the devs that worked on it. So I was expecting to see something like that here, but we didn't get that. I always thought you'd have to do something with the jewels at the top of the castle when I was a kid. Yeah, like it seems so prominent. Here, let's kind of like do a bit of a walkthrough. We can do that. If we could lower, it's inverted. There we go. Almost like we're going through it. Now, there we are. Very cool. Now these areas are all again low poly because you typically wouldn't see them at this detail, right? Now Shaztopia, good old Shazzy, did a wonderful video of the demon shaft. That is a cool effect up there though. He did a cool video about the demon shaft where he took the free camera around, did some really cool stuff. And to this day, that's like one of my favorite. This is a very cool shot. That is amazing. But it was one of my favorite videos that somebody made regarding Dark Cloud that isn't like a Let's Play or something, like a creative video. I love that. He did a great job with that video. Okay, where is our cube? Because I want to see the red gem in higher detail. Where the heck are we? There we go, that's our cube. Come on, cube. Up. You're almost there. There we go. Again, this is how big this area is. It usually doesn't take this long to warp the camera around. But it's just due to the significant, I guess, girth of this area. I don't know what the word is, but you know, it's massive. It's huge. I wish you had to build something in that lot. Yeah, I agree. I agree. That's a missed opportunity. 101%. Give a quick view of the castle's backside before we go into the throne room. Yeah, fudge it. Let's go inside. Ah, there it is. Some kind of castle, like a giant haunted house. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head, sister. Look at him. Oh my god, he's just getting cozy. Okay, he looks pretty arrogant. There's a way you can remove the chat window for, yeah, just so you get a better view. Rats. Okay. Well, let's have a good view. Holy cannoli, he's missing his legs. What a maneuver. Yeah, that must explain why he's so upset. When I was a kid, the whole exterior of the Dark Heaven Castle reminded me of the castle of the original Final Fantasy games. Yeah, I could see that. 101%. What's interesting is, and I'm pointing to the screen like you can see my hands, the very top of the throne is reminiscent, the jewel at the top of the throne is reminiscent to the top of the jewel on top of the Dark Heaven Castle. It's little things like that, attention to detail. Now, what's interesting is you can see Seida's coat of arms for his kingdom as well. Now, I saw this and I thought it was a deleted texture. I was going through all the textures of the game, but it turns out it's right up here. At first, like, wow, look at that, a deleted texture. But nope, turns out it's just something that's very obscure. Hidden from view again, there's that red jewel. Very cool. So I'm trying to manipulate the actors. Come on. Come on, let's go. Sorry, it's very touch and go. It really is. Okay. Okay, alright. Oh, he got up. Ah, I start scratching his bum. Classic. Alright, here's what we're going to do. We're going to zoom out right here. Get a good view of him flying. How would it look like from the opposite side? Right? Because we always see him flying towards us. But like, does he disappear into nothingness? So Cuboid Pixel says, it looks similar to the door to the castle. I agree, except the door to the castle is very frightening. Emo Uryu says, so there's a magic throne that disappears when you arrive. I bet that's what the Fairy King was doing, exactly. You best believe he was sitting on the throne room. Yes, he does have a red jewel on his belly. Random Watcher, that's a very interesting observation. Wait, where'd he go? I guess that's it. There, that's it. Not worth the price of admission. Poor Tone has to go to therapy. Okay, so what's next on the docket? Well, let's have a look at the low poly models of queens. Just have to find where we can go first. Is this the exit? Yes, it is. Okay. So the game is separated by load zones, right? And Muskalaka uses these load zones as well. So once we cross over here, typically the game would exit one area and load up another. Now this is done to give the game time to kind of render out and load in the new graphics. But what would happen if we jump over the load zone? It just so happens we have our moon jump enabled, so let's go for it. Derek Merler says, bruh, the first... Oh, okay, I thought I saw a centipede. Pardon me. Bruh, the first thing that I ever noticed about the Dark Genie was a red belly button gem. Honestly, it might sound weird, but once you play this game like for almost 20 years, you just start to ignore little things like that. They just become a part of the character, you know? In a weird way. Oh no, we've fallen! We've fallen and we're never going to get out. All right, let's just jump over its load zone. We've dawdled around too much. There we go. We're in low poly territory, folks. As you can see, the stair is made of water. Very European. I love it. And then these ships are not even built. Any shipwright would be very ashamed of this. Look at this. They didn't even get, like, the bow done. The middle of the boat is not even done. Not seaworthy, let me tell you something. Now, one thing that always bothered me about Queens was fishing. It was so hard to actually see the fish. I think that's something we're going to change with the Dark Cloud Enhanced Improvement Patch, is making sure that we can actually see the fish. So just your average viewer says, yeah, Derek, I guess I never paid attention. This will all be on the test. So we got to bust out our notes and pay attention. So as you can see over here, it's very low poly. If we go inside, there's no one in there. But I wanna actually get to the end of the sea. Side note, it's a very beautiful sunset. Just how it projects on the water textures. I think it's not realistic, but like for the time, with PlayStation 2 hardware, fantastic stuff. And just to confirm, if we fall down, there's no collision. See you later, Tone. Oh, he's drowning. Do you think Tone could swim? I don't think so. Well, you know, Carl did fall into the lake in Norrin Village, pardon me. That's why AllNet didn't let him have the fishing line. So, yeah, I'd assume Tone would know how to swim, right? Because we had somebody that almost drowned, so you think that'd be a skill they teach. Either way. Let's go through Ruby, because Ruby also has a pretty interesting scene where she comes out of the lamp. And it's always interesting to see, like, when it goes off camera, what's going on. Where is he? King? There we are. So what's interesting about King and this car over here is I have, and again, this is going to be for something else later on in the future. Emo Uryu says, watch out, Lasaya, or I'll take you out to the end of the sea. Oh, that's the last thing we need. Yeah, so what's interesting about this car is I have an old game, I guess like GameStop, EB Games, preview booklet of Dark Cloud. And within this preview booklet, it specifically says within the game features that you could ride vehicles. Isn't that interesting? It really makes you think about what could have been when you look at things like this car or Dran's horn, which is a cut item that allowed you to call upon Dran and ride on his back. There's a lot of cut ideas in Dark Cloud, and I think a lot of it has been lost to time, unfortunately. And with the compendium, I really wanted to hone in on those lost beta elements. The compendium, I see it as like one big museum. Right, so first things first, let's see who's in the scene before... Holy cannoli, what's going on up here? Alright, let's change our point of view. So is anybody loaded up right now? Alright. Oh, they are. Okay, cool. Before we do, let's go through real quick. So Stu has a bit of a problem with his eyes. Come on, there we go. Aha, there we are. So beyond his glasses is a texture of a 3. Now, this can mean one of two things. Either the 3 could have been like texture number 3 of where his eyeball would have been, but I noticed in a lot of Japanese media, they represent people with poor eyesight by putting a 3 on top of their eyes, or like a pouty mouth. I don't know what it is, it's Japanese culture, but it's very interesting. Emo Uryu says, so much beta stuff that was lost. With that number 3, you could use those ideas. Again, it's really such a shame. Derek Marlowe says, I gotta be honest, I imagine that Tone does know how to swim, considering he'd be the next village Chad after the muscle dude. Yes, I love it. Andrew, hey Andrew, how's it going? I wonder if Ruby Has stuff like a lamp, like the genie does from I Dream of Jeannie. Exactly. I love that show. It's a classic. Could it be the boy who restored my glorious mansion? Yikes, he's come. All right. You know we're going to be asked for that guild. I love this guy. This guy's like, yep, let's go for it. I know for the Dark Cloud Enhanced dialogue, I think I was frustrated. I was writing Goro's dialogue, and I was like frustrated of coming up with ideas. So I think this character here, this big muscle guy, he says something to Goro like, if you poke around, and I'm paraphrasing. It's written in a much more eloquent way, but it's like 1 a.m, and I'm paraphrasing. But he's like, if you poke around where you're not supposed to, you might disappear. Be careful where you go, bear boy. I thought that was hilarious. All right, let's continue. What? Imagine King bullying a boy. Could you imagine the bad press? No, I don't want any rumors around there for the election. Again, where's Tone in all this? Is he even here? Now, it's a little harder to manipulate the camera in this area because it's a little more closed off. But yeah, Tone doesn't seem like he's here right now. Again, this is all to save on space and memory. Unless he's in the corner. He is. There he is. That little rascal. Boss. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's it. We still have that option. But that's quite... I don't want to get involved with that. Hey, Digginator. Cuboid Pixel says, have you ever considered taking suggestions from the community for extra NPC dialogue? You know, I'd love to do that, but I think so many people have different ideas on what the dialogue should be that I think would be very difficult to kind of sift through them and make everybody happy. I know, I think in the Dark Cloud Enhanced trailer, somebody asked about Xiao's dialogue. And I think I posted like a bit of it. Like I responded like, oh, like here's what Xiao would say. And there was like a lot of people loved it. A lot of people weren't happy with it. So it was like very mixed. Again, everybody has their own idea of what these characters should sound like, what they should say. You know, again, it's 20 years of building up these characters in our minds that it's almost like when you take a book and you transfer it to live action. We all have a different idea. So the approach that I took with it, I'm sorry, I know I'm diverting a little bit, but I'll get to the topic, I swear. The approach that I took with writing the dialogue was I really analyzed these characters. I really got into their headspace. And I know it's going to sound crazy, but like I take Dark Cloud very seriously. I love this stuff. It's the air that I breathe. So I really got into the headspace of the characters and tried to understand who they are, their motivations, where they come from, their relations to other characters as well, and wrote dialogue based off of that. I think for me, that's the best dialogue that could be written for something of this scope. So I feel comfortable having it like that. I think if it's opened up, then it may lead to, I guess, maybe a lot of friction. I don't know. But, you know, I'm always speaking from my own experience. But in terms of the dialogue, like, you really got to take my word for it. It's amazing so far. It's really something special, and I'm very proud of it. And I can't wait for the day for you all to enjoy it, because it all comes down to you guys, right? All you folks are going to hopefully play it, enjoy it, and have a new spin, new dialogue, a lot of new things. I'm going to keep my mouth zipped. That's it. Let's jump back in. Ginkgo says, hey, how are you? I haven't seen you do live before. This is it. We are live TV, live and in color, the first time. Derek Marler says, I like the whole mafia thing they have going on here. Yes, that's exactly it. And Cuboid, I hope I was able to answer your question well. All right, so let's get into the main event. He slowly struts his little mafia strut. Okay, first things first, let's get a better view of that lamp, because there's something important about it. So remember how this lamp looks, okay? Because this isn't the lamp that we're going to see later on the stream. There's two different lamps I'll leave it at that. Okay. Okay. Just want to get a good view of it. Let's move our point of view cube. There we are. Uh-oh. Ah! Oh! Oh my goodness. Tone's like, what's going on? And note that it's not even on the floor anymore. Again, this camera trickery. No, 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 no. So we clicked R3, which is stalling everything right now, but if we remove it. Here comes Ruby. Ginkgo says, your videos allow me to do research while I'm at my job. Hey, thanks. I appreciate it. Ginkgo, the memory card thing. Yes, it's at the memory card. They reuse it for that. So here's Ruby. Very cool. Now, here's what we can do. We could move the actors. So here's where Tone should be. But let's go to the actors. Right. There we go. So here's what we can do. We could like take her and send her to the void. We could like, there's a really spooky void over here. What I did this really cool scene for the debug. No, for the Halloween video where I kind of had Tone just fall into the void and zoom out. It looked really cool. But, so here she is. That's not a very flattering camera position. There we go. That's better. How can I serve you, King Darling? Oh no, not me. I haven't done anything yet. I see. So who is it this time? Keyboard Pixel says, I respect that. I'm sure the dialogue is going to be great from someone who really cares about the game. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Keyboard. You know, I'm going to be honest, I put so much time into it. I may or may not have been working on it during work. You know, but it's going to be something special. It really is. And it's, I'm very excited to have it release one day. And Derek Marler says, anyways, you probably wouldn't think that, but I seem like a basement nerd, but really I'm into researching crime. That's very fascinating. I think there's a lot of people like that are interested in, you know, looking at like being detectives and how things work in terms of a crime scene perspective. Something Funny says, I don't know, people still talked about this game. Interesting. Have you ever heard of the Dark Cloud Compendium? There's a lot of people that talk about this game. We'd love to have you here. There's a Reddit full of over 4,000 active users who are still talking about Dark Cloud, making drawings, streams, creative videos. The Dark Cloud fan base is some of the most passionate fans out there, and we'd love to have you. You know, come on in. Again, meanwhile, where's Tone in all this? Where is Tone? He's off screen. He's not even here. Again, they're only pulling the resources they need. Brandon says I'm late, but hello everyone. How's it going, Brandon? The party's not going to start until you come here. That's how it is. Yeah. Okay, let's fast forward this scene because I really want to get to default. Alright, we're going to color Jeannie. Was it Lucille Ball who was I Dream of Jeannie? There we go. Okay. Yeah, I get to catch a stream. The very first one. The very first test stream. Okay. So here's what I love. I just want to get close because less camera work for me to do. So you get this very cool view of Tone and his friend, right? But if you zoom it out, you also get this very brilliant zoom out where, again, you get to see everything. And Brandon is just jumping in. That's a star, by the way. Brandon's just jumping in, so I just want to show you this very lovely zoom out of Queens. It's off center, but bear with me. It's going to get there. Again, this area is so big, and it's rendered all at once, including the water effects along the sea. Very cool. Is there a Discord for people who like Dark Cloud? There sure is. Um, I'll tell you what. If you leave a comment on any video of mine, I'll send you an invite link after. And again, like we'd love to have you. There has to be a way to revert without. Okay. Come on. There we go. Very cool. So let's try to manipulate tone. So we can manipulate Ruby. Spin her around. Bring her close. Oh, she disappeared. She's like, I'm not getting paid enough for this. I don't blame you, Ruby. Sean Wilson says, I'm glad to hear about how passionate you are about the enchantment mod. Yes, and the best thing about it is it's not just me who's working on it. We have so many talented people. Word of Wind, Diuppy, Mike Sword, Glitched, Plague. There's so many talented people that are all coming together to make this mod the best mod for the community. And I really think that we gathered like the Avengers of the Dark Cloud community to make something that honestly should have been made years ago. And that makes me so excited because we have the best. We're going to deliver the best for the best community out there. And that's the bottom line, right? So Derek Marler says, I bring this up because whenever I see any gang or mafia things, I immediately go bug-eyed. Everyone I hang out around is white and nerdy and doesn't understand that stuff. Hey, Law and Order SVU, love that growing up. Probably shouldn't have been watching that growing up, but I love that show. Good stuff. Judge Judy, good stuff too. So something funny says, all right, yeah, man, it'd be great. Brandon Slaughter says, imagine that zoom out with the entire city rebuilt. So Ginkgo says, funny, I'll see you in the Discord. Before I forget, there's also another off-camera secret in Norrin Village. And after that, we'll run through the debug. Pardon me, it's 3 a.m. brain. The debug inventory. Okay, so where is the Musclehead's house? Those Muscle Brothers. Where are they? See, whoever built it, because I didn't build this. This is a pre-built town that Level 5 installed in Dark Cloud. They didn't even follow their own instructions. The Muscle Brothers are over here when they should be over here. How does that work? What's the completion rate over here? I'm disappointed, Level 5. I'm disappointed. Shame Level 5. Level 5 is great. Honestly, a lot of the people that work there that have corresponded with me are wonderful people. The most generous people out there. Sorry, it's a real quick aside. I always wondered as a kid what would happen if you jump over. It leads over here, then it goes into nothingness. But let's go back to the Muscle Brothers' house. There we go. Random viewer says Dark Cloud 3. Yes, that's exactly it. Where's Dark Cloud 3? It's been too long. Brandon Slaughter. Oh, we got Tone doing the moonwalk. Brandon Slaughter's only at 50%. No, level 5 is only at 50%. Pardon me. Yeah, come on, right? You gotta step your game up, level 5. Sorry. Let's try and position the camera where you can see. Whoa, Tone, you've done it. Thanks to you, our house is back to normal again. Here, this is for you. Keep it. So, if I remember correctly... it's double-sided. Interesting. Okay. That's not what I wanted to show you, but real quick. So we have another actor walking in. He's looking pretty happy. Side note, I love how they sleep in wrestling beds. Hey, bro. What do you think you're doing? Like I always tell you, what's yours is mine and mine is yours. Or something like that. Yes, it's Barbara Eden who did Jeannie. Hey, listen, Andrew, you gotta give me some slack. It's 3 in the morning. Grr, he's not very happy about this. All right, so here's what I want to show you. I want to show you what goes on beyond the doors of the battle, the great battle between the brothers. Okay, so let's go through. Okay, there we are. So Keyboard Pixel says, I don't dismiss the idea of Dark Cloud 3 releasing in the distant future. Unfortunately, I don't see it happening. Okay. It's like, how can I say this without taking forever? I guess the TLDR. So Dark Cloud 3 was once greenlit by Level 5, by Sony, pardon me. This was back in 2003. It was greenlit. It entered early production for about 6 months. Within that 6 months, Level 5 were able to have creative freedom, which was nice because with Dark Cloud 1, they didn't have total creative freedom. But by Dark Cloud 2's release, they're a bit more of an established studio, and Sony was impressed by how they're able to use the new hardware. The PS2 wasn't the easiest thing to make games on. It was quite difficult. The Emotion Engine, as much as I praise it, was quite the beast. So what happened was Level 5 ended up going to Sony and requested to shift development on the title from being a numbered Dark Cloud game to being something else entirely. And over time, it gradually evolved into another title entirely. That's all I'm going to say on that topic. But it's in terms of Level 5 now, who's holding Dark Cloud 3 back? Right now, Level 5 is focused on making games that have multimedia. I'm sorry, I'm looking for the right words. That have the potential to become multimedia franchises. So if you look up Level 5 Abby, 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 they're a subsidiary of Level 5 that focuses on just marketing and franchising their video games out. They want to become the next Disney of Japan, right? So because of that, and there's a lot of articles listing to this in terms of sources, in terms of Level 5 in Japan and Level 5 Abby, because the information I'm saying right now is a combination of what I've heard from people at Level 5 as well as what I've been able to piece together, what's been publicly released through journalism and magazines. So Dark Cloud is co-owned by Level 5 and Sony. Initially, Sony was always ready to do Dark Cloud 3. It's always on the table whenever they speak with Level 5. But with Level 5, they'd rather do other things. Now, this was the story for the longest time. But what's happened recently is Level 5 closed down its American studio. They're losing money, unfortunately. Level 5 isn't a small studio anymore. They own Yokai Watch, which is a huge series. Professor Layton, huge series. Inazuma 11, Little Battler's Experience. Now, these all might seem like just names that I'm throwing out there, but like Yokai Watch the movie outsold Star Wars The Force Awakens in Japan. And The Force Awakens is Star Wars is a 40-year-old film series, critically acclaimed. Big return. Let's go Star Wars. Yokai Watch outsold it. They're making a lot of big money. So, and that's great for them. But with that, they'd rather keep that money to themselves and invest in themselves than go back to a smaller IP like Dark Cloud, if that makes sense. But recently, what's happened is they've closed down their American studio, Level 5 America. So that means they are losing money because of COVID. So I can see them being C-A-N, being open to Dark Cloud 3. But recently, Sony closed Sony Japan Studios. And that's a big deal. Now, Japan Studios didn't have anything to do with Dark Cloud on the records, but that's Sony's Japanese studio, which invests in their more creative, obscure titles. Parappa the Rapper, Ape Escape, so on and so forth. So they're having a shift. They're trying to Americanize right now. So I think investing in a Japanese game like Dark Cloud isn't the right move for Sony right now. It's funny because at one point in time, Sony was ready to do Dark Cloud 3 for the longest time, but Level 5 was not. But now Level 5 may be ready. You know, the cards are on the table, they're looking good, but Sony looks like they're not ready. What are you going to do? You know, but that's all I'm going to say on the topic for now. But I hope I was able to answer some questions and not bore you all. I'm sure you found that interesting, though. Hey, Liam's here. How you doing, Liam? So, hey, let's jump off. Let's not divert too much. Let's see what goes on beyond the barriers. Holy cannoli, yowza canalza, what's going on here? They're fusing! Like Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, I feel you, Tone. I feel you. Isn't it awkward when your neighbors fight in front of you, but it turns out they're fusing? What's going on here? I love it. Not boring at all. Well said, friend. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So Pomelo says, Rogue Galaxy felt like Final Fantasy XII to me. It did. It really did, with just how expansive it was, right? Something Funny says, a Dark Cloud 1 and 2 collection would be amazing if it happened for modern consoles and PC. I'm throwing my arms up again. You know, I wish I had a camera because I speak a lot with my arms and my hands and my eyebrows. But, you know, honestly, I think, I have no evidence on this, but I personally think that the source code for Dark Cloud has been lost. Because if you look at throughout the advent of the PS3 era, re-releases were very common. And all of Sony's major PS2 games got a re-release, but Dark Cloud did not. And when it came to port PS2 games to PS3 on the digital network, Dark Cloud was one of the first games they put on there. And then when it came to put PS2 games on PS4, again, Dark Cloud was the very first game they showed off at PSX 2014, I believe. So they remember Dark Cloud. They're okay with re-releasing Dark Cloud digitally. And I think if they had the data for Dark Cloud, the source code, I think they would have done a proper remaster of it. But they've never done it, which makes me feel like perhaps it's been lost. Again, this is just my speculation, but it's interesting to think about. It really is. Because preservation is important. Even if, you know, companies wish to preserve things privately, like it's just about keeping that data alive. Because I'd love to see a Dark Cloud remaster. I think a lot of you would too. Right, so let's jump to the main event. We're going to go into the items and check this out. Bingo, bango, bang. There we go. Not that. Bang. There we go. Not that. Oh, no. So what is the button to get into the item debug menu? Now, I should preface this by saying I play on console. I'm a console guy. I love consoles. So being on PC is a little different. The button mappings for this aren't quite ideal. But here we go. We're back. Looking at the chat real quick, Derek Marlowe says, at this point, if Dark Cloud 3 ever does happen, it won't be because the IP is bought out by Sony, who's more ready to do more with the series. Honestly, I just want to see anything Dark Cloud related. Anything at all. Sony Level 5, even if they give it to another studio, I'd be willing to see that as a Dark Cloud fan. Emo Udiu says, excellent, really giving out all the info. Thanks, man. Hey, I'm glad you appreciated that. You know, it's a lot of information to take in. Ginkgo says they won't sell the IP. Companies rather sit on IP until the sun explodes. You took the words right out of my mouth. Look at Konami. Wish they'd sell their IP to Capcom or something. Something Funny says, I wondered why it didn't happen on I wonder why it was on PS4. It wasn't ported to HD. It's a shame. It really is, you know? Udu says, even for a collector, I'd rather buy a physical remaster. Yes, you're speaking my language, brother. Love my physical games. That's exactly it. And lastly, Ginkgo says, I wouldn't be surprised if it was lost. It happens a lot. Konami lost the Silent Hill data because it chose to store it by printing on paper and putting it in a cabinet. Ridiculous. Konami, what are you doing? So, here is the item debug menu. If you access this on hardware, on PS2 hardware, you're only accessing half of it. I didn't know this for the longest time. So you'll still be able to grab items, right? But there's a very interesting addition if you're playing on emulator, and I'll get into that in a moment. But in this menu, you could see a lot of items that didn't make it in the final version of the game. You have the infamous flapping duster. Grab 2 of those, please. You have this magical lamp. So Ruby comes out. So we could grab this. It serves no purpose. But if we were to go to the icon and click the select button, you could view the 3D model. Now that's very cool, right? But, uh-oh, bad touch. What's going on here? What if we were to go to an item that wasn't released in the final version of the game? Very cool. Again, if you remember how earlier in the stream, we had the earlier version of Ruby's lamp. It looks very different. Initially, you were to use this key item to summon Ruby out. There we go. We have the flame key. So this belonged to a flame dungeon. Initially, Dark Cloud was going to have one more additional dungeon and one more diorama area, which would have been a lava-themed area. This would have taken place above Northern Village on the world map, but it seems like it was scrapped fairly early on. I know Dark Cloud went through a bit of a tumultuous development cycle. It was scrapped along Seda, when Seda was a playable character. There was a time in development where they really had to crunch and reevaluate things. And unfortunately, Seda got cut as a playable character. We got one removed playable character and one removed dungeon. And this is the only remnants of the dungeon in the area, in the game, that we know of as of now. So Ginkgo says, do you stream often? Honestly, this is the first stream, but I'd love to do this more often if people want to attend. No worries. So we have 2 cut items so far. We have our magical lamp and we have our flame key. But if we go up, we can also see that we have a saving book. Now if you look, it says automatic. Initially, you would have been able to use this to save within the dungeon. So Emo Uryu says, odd how they didn't include the volcano area, but rather useless story side stuff like the demon shaft. So it's kind of weird. I think there's evidence that Dark Cloud's development and the localization was being done at the same time, parallel within each other. There's a Dark Cloud preview build that was released in Europe to the press. And it's in English, but it features a Japanese battle system, which is curious because the battle system is very different than what we got. So I think it was being done coinciding with each other. So I don't think the Demon Shaft took resources away from other cut areas. I think it was more so like they had extra time and they just used what they had, you know? Ginkgo says, hell yeah, I'd love to see more. Yeah, man, of course. Maybe every weekend we could do something. But hey, we did get our Dark Cloud 2 lava dungeon. That's the thing. A lot of Dark Cloud 2 reused cut ideas from Dark Cloud 1. It was rather simple, the development cycle, in comparison to Dark Cloud 1, which was a much more tumultuous development cycle. So we have our saving book. And then we have the warp powder. So this doesn't have any description, but I remember the description off the top of my head. It says it could warp you to another part of the dungeon. And then we have the Medusa powder, which petrifies enemies for a while. So you would have been able to throw this, almost like the throbbing cherry would have froze enemies. What else is there? Okay, so it's a small thing, but the parfait, you can't see this, but the ice cream is actually a skull. Very cool. These devs get lazy. Why make something if you can reuse something? See over here, it's ice cream, but we spin it around. Holy cannoli, it's a skull. Better be careful. What else is there? Oh, okay, that crashed it. We're not doing that. So the synth sphere over here. So we have a lot of the items, right? Crunkles. Did I crash it? Oh, cripes. All right, hold on. All right, give me 1 second, friends. Gotta jump back over here. Let's boot it again. That's the thing about this this debug ROM is it's very finicky. If you do the wrong thing at the wrong time, it'll just destroy it, and that's not what we want. So we might as well jump somewhere else. So we went to Queens. So let's go to Muscalaca. Oh, Brown Boo, sure, why not? Oh my god, Smegma Bandit. It's a funny name. Smegma Bandit says, sorry for repeating, but I'm curious to know, to see what you think. If the source code for Dark Cloud is lost, how would trophies work on emulator? Wouldn't they be tied to the code directly? I know with PlayStation 2 on PS4, it's emulated. It's using an emulated version of the ROM or the ISO, right? So I think what's happening is they're injecting things into the ISO in real time, right? So part of their emulator that they've built for the PS4 has functionality that you're able to inject things like trophy data in there, because I believe it was Eternal Ring, which was another PS2 game on PS4, made by FromSoft of Dark Souls fame, pardon me. That game didn't work properly initially, so they released a patch for it. So, like, how would you patch a PS2 game? It's not a patch for the PS2 game itself of Eternal Ring, rather a patch for the emulator that runs Eternal Ring on PS2 and PS4. I hope that answers your question. If it doesn't, let me know. Emo Uryu says, really, I quite like it better as Dark Cloud 2, especially with the possibility of Monica being tied to Seda. Maybe it was a goof, but I like that theory. You know, Monica was made, again, like reusing a lot of assets and ideas. How Monica plays was how Seda was initially intended to be played in Dark Cloud. He would have been able to use spells, buffs, debuffs, projectiles. This is all on paper, but you know, I implore you, if you have more questions, you could watch the video that I have on Seda being removed from the game, where we go into it in a lot more detail. So let's do a quick zoom out. I love this area though. As a kid, very cool. So there's something interesting that I want to show off. If we go high enough. Aha, there we go. We hit the skybox, right? Now a skybox is just a picture that's being projected. Very cool. You can see that even the moon, whenever we get there. Crazy theories here, but Monica is Seda. Yeah, it's exactly it, right? You can see the moon is just it's just a picture. Bust out your tinfoil hats, friends. It's time for some moon theories. What if the moon landing was fake? No, you know, it's interesting looking at how these games are made, right? Because again, like, what are these folks doing? What are you doing over here, buddy? Let's see, where do they go? Oh, I guess you can't. Now, this was the very first area that was shown in Tokyo Game Show 1999. Initially, it had a quite different environment, different characters, different NPCs. Love how his eyes are boggling out. They're basically Jawas from Star Wars, right? Let's reset it real quick. Yeah, like, oh, Crunkles, did it crash? I think it crashed. Let's go through it one more time. Okay, run ISO fast. Again, I apologize. This debug ISO is very sensitive. You awake? You good? There we go. Okay, so 4, we'll do 5. Hmm. So how would we go to Muskalaka? I forget. It's been a little while, but we'll mess around with moondrops for a little bit. Yellow drops, pardon me. So what's interesting is within the debug ROM, you could actually jump and do Giorama here. Now, if you open the Giorama menu, it will crash the game, so we're not going to do that. We have these like weird baguette-looking things. Okay, let's jump beyond the barriers over here and see what's going on. Now the debug build isn't able to jump into dungeons. I would love to show off dungeons as well as the items that we got, which are gone now. But unfortunately, it's inaccessible during the debug version of the game. Is that Mace Windu? Got Star Wars references everywhere. We got Jawas, we got Mace Windu. Where's my boy Jar Jar though? Alright, so it seems like we're not able to go through here, but yeah, very cool. So earlier on, I think it was Cuboid Pixel said check scene 40. Yes, you have to keep things PG, right? You never know who's watching. This channel's for everyone. A lot of people are like, "Oh, I watch Dark Cloud with my kids, the compendium with my younger siblings," or I'm like, "That's awesome, the magic moments. I love that." Scene 40. Ooh. Ah, there we go. So when Cuboid Pixel mentioned check scene 40, he meant that is where Dark Heaven Castle is. Again, we get into the Giorama. Let's get there. Come on. Giorama and yellow drops? Right, that's exactly it. Only in the Dark Cloud debug disk are you going to find that. Jeez, I just want to land anywhere. Well, this is a bit of a bust. Oh, there we go. Okay. There we go. Dark Cloud, rated R. Oh no. It gives new meaning to the scene where Yaya jumps on your head. That's horrible, horrible stuff. Why would they even have that? Who thought that was a great idea? Honestly, you have that fat guy being swallowed in the beginning of the game by the dark genie. You have Claude inviting you to take a bath. There's a lot of weird shit. Yes, you always thought it looked like Mace Windu. Exactly. Again, this is a very simplified version of Dark Heaven Castle. No stairs. I believe there's no detail in the doorway. All to save on memory. Let's give it a rest and go somewhere else though. 39. Ooh, what's going on here? Okay, so this is where tone, like spoilers, at the end of the game, Tone has to do something. I'm not going to say what because there might be, as old as Dark Cloud is, there's always people who are just playing the game for the first time. Over here is, so this is where you build your giant sun giant. And so typically this isn't open, this dome, this is closed, right? But because this is tied to the cutscene, it's open. But what I find interesting is there's still collision in some areas. How curious. Again, nothing really special to see here. The doorways are probably not even rendered. Oh, they are. Okay, let's go back. We'll go scene by scene. See, whoa, what's going on here? Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna leave real quick in case anybody's epileptic. So that scene is when you're on Dran going through the dark clouds. Yes, Judy, Tone and the gang go to Arby's. I wonder if they have any vegetarian alternatives. Haven't been to Arby's in a little while. So we have this this scene of what is going on here. You remember that episode of SpongeBob where Squidward goes time traveling and he's all alone? And he's in that void, he's like, alone, alone. This is the vibe that I'm getting. Did it crash? Yowza, canowza, I think I crashed it. So let it be known. Scene 39 or 38 crashes a game. Yes, Killer Kitten knows how it is. Alone, exactly. Love that episode. SpongeBob had some great animation. Classic, I love it. Let's try 34. So this is with Lasaya. When her betrothed Rando comes through the door. How romantic. Oh, let's try something. So in these scenes, pardon me, let's make the graphics ugly for a minute. In these scenes, we're able to initiate the event. Let's see if we can do that. Sorry. What's a talk event? Can we talk to us here? Didn't think so. No? Okay. Alright. I'm not sure if you expressed this before. So Action to Marcelo says, not sure if you said this before, but if you could choose, would you rather have Dark Cloud 1 or Dark Cloud 2 graphics? I love cell shading. Jet Set Radio looks great. Wind Waker looks great, but I really do love the very specific art style that Dark Cloud 1 went with. I'd rather choose Dark Cloud 1, but both are fantastic. So again, going into another scene of Queens. Sorry, I made the graphics better, pardon me. Scanlines are beautiful, don't get me wrong. I'm a CRT enthusiast, but they have no place here. It's a very empty version of Queens. No one is here. It's a ghost town. Let's run the event and see what this is supposed to be. So this scene is used when they're discovering the moon orb. Again, let's just do a quick zoom out because it always blows me away. So Derek Marler says, I think both Dark Cloud 1 and Dark Cloud 2 have great graphics. Yeah, like they really do have their charms. They really do. So let's jump to another scene. Oh, this poor boy. This poor boy. Let's get you out of here. No, no, no. Leave. Run. Run away. Run far away. You're free. No! Run far away. Spread your wings. You're good. Oh, that crashed the game. The game didn't want Tone to run away. He deserved to run away, though. He's a survivor. All right, let's go. Good stuff. Yo, Tone is Eye of the Tiger. Let's go. Just your average random watcher says, hey, get out of there, Tone. Couldn't agree more. Scene 30, Dark Heaven Castle. All right. Okay. So this is a scene where you meet Seda, and he does that thing with his sword in the chest. I can't say it because YouTube doesn't like that, but Tone's like, I'm going to head out. Yep. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. The horrors that little child is seeing. Crazy stuff. Okay, so let's give a quick zoom out. What's going on here? What's going on here? So we could see Seda kind of creeping around like a dork. So let's see if he's off camera somewhere, off scene. No, it doesn't look like it. Yes, sir, this is a Seda free zone. S50 is a demon shaft. Yeah, of course we'll go there. You wound me. Get out of here. You know he's a dork. Look at him. He's watching. He's like, here's my arch nemesis. Little whiny crybaby. Okay, he's still up there? Nope. I don't know who's dorkier, the Dark Genie or Seda, because they're both quite dorky in their own rights. How old are the main characters supposed to be? Honestly, I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay, so we're gonna do. I did something really cool with the camera before. It's a small thing, but I think Seda looks tired. You can see bags under his eyes right now. That's pretty cool because you don't see that usually. But he's good now. He's good. He had his espresso. He's good to go. See, these scenes over here, you're not able to use the free camera. So what's happening right now is these pictures are being projected on a black void. It's just the camera's locked. But I think there's a lot of really curious things in the background of these images. I really do think these images were, I don't know how to say it exactly, but they've used like assets that were later remodeled later on. You know, so beta assets could be kicking around in there. And I think that's one thing I should look out for when I'm looking at the 3D models and textures. Let's make it a buddy cop film. Can we make it a buddy cop film? Come on. Okay, there we go. Alright, there we go. Hold on. Yeah, now it's a buddy cop poster. Back to back. The boys are back. Better watch out, crime. We have two of our best crime fighters here. Emo Git and this little Link wannabe. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's what's going on here. One thing I love is my younger sibling read panting as painting. So now I always go painting. There is no time. The dark blood is running through me. Ugh, taking over my mind, bro. He's secretly Seth Rogen. Oh no, there's eviler Seth Rogen. Oh, Max and Monica were confirmed to be 13 and 15 respectively. I love that. It's very cool. Yeah, it does sound right. Oh my goodness. He's giving birth. Back up. He's like, can I get you a towel? What's going on? Okay, what's going on over here? Oh my goodness. What a selfless act. You gotta give him credit. Oh my goodness. This is scene very cool. Love the direction of it. Can we warp the camera? I want the beam to be pointing towards the camera. Can we do that? Ah, there we go. Where are they? Are they still here? That's so cool. We can make it look like the beam is coming out of Tone's mouth. Let's do that. Right, there we go. Let's slow arm a little bit. Whatever, I give up. Not gonna lie, it's my favorite cutscene in the game when you're not fooling around. Yeah, I agree. Honestly, I'm laughing at it, but like I'm a very sentimental person, and sometimes these cutscenes they do make me tear up. You know, they're very touching. I think the scene that always gets me is the scene with Goro and his father. There's just a lot of emotion there, and again, like for like a PlayStation 2 game, it's very cool. I love it. Amazing. Judy says one of my favorites too, but I'm too busy watching. It hurts. Yeah, no, I feel you. Something funny says he's not stabbing himself. He just has arthritis. Yeah, we're all gonna be there one day. What is this? Ah, so this is, sorry. We're not able to move the free camera. We can move our positioning, but... So this is, I believe, the ship that we use to get down into the shipwreck, but it's not letting me move for some reason. Okay, we're getting somewhere. There we go. We're good. The boys are back, baby. Let's zoom out. No, the boys are not back. It was all a lie. I really want to show you this because this would give you a clear view of the shipwreck structure. Let's try it one more time. Okay. Rats. Okay, well, I guess it's off limits for now. We'll get back to it though, I promise. What's going on here? Where are we? What? Okay, I think it was Derek Marler who said, or it was Cuboid Pixel who talked about Demon Shaft. We can do that one. Just before I forget, there's so much to go through, right? Derek Marler says, I love the music that takes place, that's played in the time of Destiny. That might be my favorite in the whole series. Yeah, I agree. I'm sorry if my rating's off. I'm like so flippin' tired right now. But what's going on with the camera right now? Because tone's down here, right? So we gotta figure that out first. Okay, it'll take too long. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna reset the whole emulator, and we'll do it that. There we go. All right. Good stuff. We're back. So we're gonna scale the demon shaft. 1 floor, 2 floor, 3 floors. We're gonna go floor by floor. So one thing that I found interesting is the clouds never move. There's usually like parallax scrolling with the clouds being able to move. Quite the nice effect in regular areas, but it's not working here. This area in general is quite the late addition. The music that he uses sounds very reminiscent to the music with the final boss scene. It sounds like the Dark Cloud 2 battle theme. So like there was a bit of carryover there. Oh my goodness. It's starting to get ghost. It's ghosting out. And that's the very tip top of it. Let's get a better view. There we go. It's a giant monolith. The journey down is just as nice as the journey going up. Now, I really do think they might have repurposed the geometry for the floating continent from the Tokyo Game Show. Beta build for the Demon Shaft, the outside area. This is a quick diorama view. Again, if we click triangle and go into config assembly, it will crash the game, so we're not going to do that. But this was one of my favorite areas growing up. I love the architecture. You know, the way these spires kind of go up. Very cool. Kind of wish I would call it the Demon Spire. But I guess they had... a lot of the naming conventions weren't necessarily the best in Dark Cloud. A lot of, you know, spelling errors and all that. So our camera's wigging out. We're just trying to bounce over here, do our own thing. Oh, the camera's giving us trouble. There we go. We're good. So typically, we're not able to see this backside. And again, it's not rendered from behind. That's enough dilly-dallying. Let's go inside of the shaft. Emo Udu says, didn't you want to go through the hole in the ceiling? Yes, that's exactly it, where the Black Knight breaks through. We'll do that as well. So Derek Marler says, I'm going to go through and repost to make sure you actually saw it. But earlier, I made a compression of Dark Cloud 1. It looks like a live action anime or live action fantasy flick. Yeah, yeah. That's a very apt comparison. I could see that. 101%. I always think that Dark Cloud 1 looks a lot like, it gives me, like early, like, I guess, not early, but like 90s Studio Ghibli vibes. Like Nausicaa, Princess Mononoke. It has that kind of art style. I wouldn't just say it's like anime. It's more like Ghibli art style. And, I think that was maybe what their intention was, because they did work with Studio Ghibli later on. So we're not able to go through here, because if we go through here to load the dungeon, and we don't want to do that, it'll crash the game. So hopefully 51 will be Black Knight. Okay. Is there a scene tied to this event? Run event. Didn't think so. Let's jump to 52. Ah, that crashed the game. Just Your Random Watcher says, I doubt it's intentional, but does Dark Cloud want to remind everybody of the Dark Crystal? Yes, Jim Henson. The use of jewels and purple symbolism. I could see that. I love that film. It's a good one. Jim Henson Company. They had some good stuff. Let's try 54. Aha. Oh, cripes. Darn it. Okay. So, with Dark Cloud 1, there's a lot of scenes that are removed. And what that means is, they removed a lot of scenes from the actual game. It really does seem like a lot of Dark Cloud was done in a bit of a slapdash effort to meet the Japanese launch of the PlayStation 2. Let's try 49. No, this is where the King's Curse is. But perhaps there's some discoveries to be made here as well. So if we go to run events. Ah, you're playing hardball, aren't you? Well, what it should do is run the event, but we're not looking for this one. We're trying to go to the Black Knight. 50. Ah, rats. Personally, Dark Cloud reminds me of Labyrinth. I haven't seen Labyrinth in years, but I love David Bowie's work in terms of music. Okay, well, we have Dran over here. We might as well, we'll go through the motions. We'll get to it eventually. Let's just go through what we have now. We're not able to run the event, but one thing a lot of people are curious about is, what does Dran's den look like, where he emerges from? Where could he be? Where is that den? Somewhere up here. Interesting. Oh, there it is. Okay. Very cool. So there's no collision up here. There's nothing on the opposite side, but these gems over here always look so impressive. That's so cool. I love it. Okay, so moving on. So Something Funny says the voice acting in Dark Cloud 2 sounded cool, but in Dark Cloud 1 it works better, honestly. Yeah, I think voice acting is a bit of an acquired taste. I personally really liked the voice acting in Dark Cloud 2, but I could see where you're coming from as well. Okay, well, there's no way to run Goro's event, but could we go in his house? In his hut, rather? Okay, alright, this is a scoop, because all 14 of you are amazing. I have an interview series planned. I got in contact with some voice actors from Dark Cloud 2, and I got them on board to do some interviews, just talking about the Dark Cloud series, their work on Dark Cloud 2, how the recording process has been like, if they have any messages to the Dark Cloud community. That's going to be coming out in the summer. It's going to be called The Voices of Dark Cloud. I'm very excited. It's just one of those things where there's one project after another, and it's so much stuff to get done. But it'll debut for the summer. Hopefully, I'm really excited for that one. Okay, it's Master Utan. Where is the Black Knight? Is it 55? Definitely isn't 55 because that crashes the game. Definitely isn't that one. Yes, amazing, right? Yeah, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I had to pay out of pocket for it, and one thing I learned is these people, they cost like something like $80 a minute, so it it was it was interesting financially, but we made it work, and I'm happy. It was worth every penny, for the community to have something like that, because nobody really reached out to these actors before. And Dark Cloud 2's voice cast is amazing, but the thing is, a lot of these voice actors are getting older, and with COVID, I don't want to chance anything, so I went by priority of oldest to youngest. So I could say that I got Cedric and what's his name, Osmond from Dark Cloud 2. I recorded them and everything. We're good to go, and we crashed it. Lovely, classic. But Donnie right now is looking like a maybe. It's just a matter of pricing. And the big one that I'm working on is Monica. I'd love to get Monica on board, because you have to take an account like who is willing to lend their time to the compendium. I love the Dark Cloud Compendium. I love it to bits and pieces, but it's not the most important thing in the world, right? People, especially actors, have a lot more projects going on. So it all comes down to who's willing to give me their time. And it's not for free, I'm paying for it, right? But like Scott Mendelson, who does the voice of Max, is very busy. He's doing Teen Titans as Robin. So like that's definitely not going to happen. But Monica's one that I'm gradually working on. You have to jump through hoops, talent agents. You know, it's all about. I found it's a game of trying to convince the right people that hey, there's a Dark Cloud fan base out there. Hey, it might be niche, but it is worth your client's time. It's good PR in the sense that, hey, your client is reaching out and talking to a fan base from a niche series that dedicated fans. Speaking of fans, I love how this crowd is lifeless. It's almost like a WWE crowd. Look at this. Now, if it was AEW, it'd be very, very poppin'. Let me tell you something. So if we run the event over here, well, let's not run the event. Let's actually jump around, because this environment is it's quite beautiful. The lights over here. So yeah, it's been a bit of a challenge trying to convince voice actors to jump on board and to become a part of the project. I think what's going to happen is the more voice actors I get on board, the easier it'll be to convince others, right? So these are 2D images. So if you look this way, they're looking at you, and if you rotate the camera, they're also looking at you. With 2D, it's always pointing towards the player. I love how Mark Hamill voiced Emperor Griffin in Dark Cloud 2. That's not all who he voiced. He also voiced a clown in the very beginning, the one who says, "You need a ticket to come in." And the voice that he uses is the voice of Joker, which I think is amazing. But yeah, Mark Hamill's definitely not happening. I love Mark Hamill. I love Star Wars. I have an autograph of George Lucas hanging on my wall of Star Wars A New Hope. So like that'd be a dream, but no, I don't think Mark Hamill's happening. So here is the scene for Queens. So this is when we transition stages. So if I go to run event doesn't want to work for me today. You're putting me on the spot, run event. All right, well, you gotta take my word for it. Something funny says the game predicted COVID core cardboard cutouts of people. Yes, it really did, didn't it? Speaking of, I hope you're all well. I hope you're all safe. Your family, your pets, cousins, cats, dogs, all your loved ones. I hope you're all safe. We'll get through this. This is temporary. I really do think we'll get through it. We just gotta be brave in the meantime and, keep on trucking. Okay, so I think this is for Xiao, right? Alright, we're gonna do a couple more scenes, and then we're probably gonna jump back to the Giorama, because this isn't really giving us much to work with. But what's interesting is this is a scene, I believe, where the wolves attack you. Yet it's playing Brown Boo Village's music. Something Funny says, I remember Donnie's voice actor is the same voice actor as Jimmy Neutron. Yeah, it's Donna Derryberry. Yeah, she's very talented. But getting her on would cost a pretty penny. It's one that I'm gradually collecting for, but I'm taking care of my younger siblings. I have a lot of responsibilities. So it's one of those things where family always comes first, right? As much as I love the compendium, family always comes first. So it's about making sure it's that duality, when your family's good, then you're all good. Everything else is going to be good after that, So what's going on? This music is playing everywhere. Okay, so this over here, I believe, is the cutscene. In the very beginning where you see Tone running around. I believe this is the room where he's running around in, because you have the tunnels, right? So Derek Marler says, I had a crazy theory. Dark Cloud 2 is secretly a Batman game. The main character is voiced by Robin, and the villain's a Joker. Yes, I love it. And here we have the river. And what's going on there? Can you see that on the bottom? The C, D, F. There's something going on there. But let's try to run events and see what happens. Yeah, obviously nothing happens. Okay, switch. No. Here's a Giorama view. So this takes place in the beginning of the game. And it's interesting seeing this scene because I guess it's saved in the data. I thought it was something that was only like a pre-rendered cutscene, but I guess the room is there. That was a wonderful adventure, making a new world. Could be mistaken. Was that in the final version of the game? I don't remember that. Roy boy, I love you. I love you, brother. Take care. I've missed you so much. I miss you. Take care and stay safe, alright? 101%. Didn't know you're here. Alright, what else? What else we got here? What else we got going on here? CM37. Oh, we can't go here. It might give people a headache, and we don't want that. So if you guys have any requests for free camera, and lovely, our emulation machine just crashed, but if you have any requests, toss them to me. I'd love to fulfill them for you. Derek Marler says, I don't believe that was in the final version of the game, but damn, it was a nice touch. Interesting. Let's try to get to that one more time. I believe it was 41. Okay. I guess that's a little bit of homework for the castle to look through. Yeah, it is a nice touch. I agree. 101%. 26, would that crash a game? Ah. Okay, if we leave, would it take us out to Matsutake or Maskalaka? Pardon me. Perfect. Perfect. This is exactly where I wanted to go. This place is bumping, man. I love this place. Yeah. So we got Andaga. I failed as a warrior. I'll be useless in a fight. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. We can use our magic moon jump to get a better view of this castle, this temple, if you will. Blad says, I have a feeling that adventure quote only plays in the PAL version. I'll have to look that up, because now I'm curious. But first things first, let's get to Solid Floor. Again, you know, we could jump over our load zones. So what load zones are, it's the transitionary area where the game would end one scene and begin another. So we jump over it and we could see the desert is quite expansive until it's not. But let's go through. There we go. So is it Muscalaca or Muscaraca? It's Muscalaca, but it's pretty funny how they had an error on that part. But again, if we jump over the load zone, we could see a very simplistic looking Sun and Moon temple. Something Funny says, if I made a 3D game, I'd make collisions in out-of-bounds areas, so people using cheats can have some floor to walk on. That's very considerate. That's very considerate. I love it. I'm looking forward to whatever you create if you end up going down that road. Yeah, so this place is quite plain in comparison to the final version. Let's get back over here. Again, the very cool thing, so let's get into a cutscene so it would be easier to trigger what's going on here. Okay, seems like no one's here. Let's try to run the events. Okay, there's a reason why. And why is that? Derek Marler says, seeing Undaga reminds me, I once sat there and ranked every playable character from most masculine to least masculine. I love it. I love it. It's hilarious. Okay, don't reward me. That was an empty lot. You gotta admit. You did very well. The villagers are telling me to give you guys a reward. First, for you, Undaga. Oh my goodness, look at him go. They'll poke your eye out. Okay. The diamond, yes. Okay, so let's get out of here. Hopefully we'll be good to go. Is there a Giorama elements? No, there's nothing here. Curious. Okay. Trying to think of the best way to get people here. You know what? Here, we'll do a quick zoom out. A moon jump zoom out. Because this desert is huge. It doesn't look it without having anything there, but what I find interesting is the texture of the sand that repeats once you go beyond the boundaries. He got that diamond play button, yes, exactly. Exactly. Random Watcher says, hey, I'd love to see that. That list, exactly. You know, Goro's on there. Number one, most macho. Let's go. Holy smokes. It's Groundhog Day now. It keeps on falling. Elena VA, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're happy to have you. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. All right, let's go back, ride the submarine, and I'll give you guys a good view of the shipwreck. Now, this is a teaser for an upcoming video. Moon Bunny, who is a very talented person within the Dark Cloud community, has been going through the 3D models, and we found out that the shipwreck model is the biggest model in the game, right next to Dark Heaven Castle. Just gonna let it zoom out a little bit for me, do the work for me. All right. See, like, this is how big it is. You can barely even see the free camera moving. Look at this. Like, this is gonna take forever. Like, I really wish because it's modeled in 3D. Derek Marler says, Undaga is by far the most masculine character. Toe and Osmond are tied for second, Goro's third, then Xiao and Ruby. No, you know Xiao's number one. You know Xiao's number one. So, I wish I could show you more, but okay, lovely, lovely. We got it to go super quick. Super fast mode, we're good to go. All right. So the video that's going to premiere right after our Dark Cloud 2 manga video is going to be kind of looking at some of the more hidden 3D models in the game, the more obscure ones that are not, in plain view. Because we're looking at this now, but there's also this blue hue of a water texture put on top of it. So you can't see the clear colors. When I saw it, when I saw it for the first time with its colors without any of the water effect, it was breathtaking. I was like, wow, I've never seen that before. That's amazing. It's always interesting to see new things in your favorite games, right? Brandon Slaughter says, I want to see the model next to something in comparison. Yeah, we will. We have Dran's Windmill and Dark Heaven Castle used as points of reference. But here's something that's interesting. Along the, not starboard, not the bow, I'm trying to remember my parts of a ship. I love ships, boats. They're very interesting. But along the mast, I believe, that orb is actually a reused version of the wind element, the wind orb. Kilia Silver says, I can't sleep. Yeah, you know what? Insomnia 101. See, I can sleep. I just choose not to. I don't get tired, I get results. That's the compendium motto. When others sleep, I'm hard at work. Kind of like Batman. Okay, you know what? Give me your favorite superheroes in the chat. Mine is Moon Knight. His power is reflected by the phases of the moon. So where else can we go? Is there any other scenes? Pablo. Who's Pablo? Okay, what do we got here? I see. Okay. There's nothing really special about this scene. But let's keep on going. That is a very unflattering camera angle. We don't go up the poor guy's nose. Let's zoom out. Pablo, bro. It's just Pablo. So Pablo from Backyardigans, the little penguin. Because if that's the case, dude, Pablo's my favorite too. My favorite hero is Hidden Castle. Oh, dude, thank you so much. That means a lot. Honestly, the compendium began as it was never really supposed to be like a public channel. It was just something for me to post because, like, I have the memory of a dodo. I really do, a goldfish even. So I'm quite forgetful. I really wanted to make sure that I remember a lot of the Dark Cloud stuff that I have, so I wanted to make sure that this is perfect because we're right in the shipwreck right now. But I digress. I wanted to make some sort of a record, an audio record of the Dark Cloud stuff that I have in terms of our articles and information. Pardon me. Around the time, Derek Marler says, I honestly don't know what my favorite superhero is. I'll probably say it's Batman. Wrong, it's Pablo. Osmondo, you're too funny. Get out of here. But around the time, I had a bit of a health scare. And and it was something for a little while. I wasn't sure what was going on. And I had a clean bill of health for the first time in a little while. So I told myself that I want to preserve what I have. I've been collecting Dark Cloud stuff since 2009, 2008, around there. Saving old pictures, articles, stuff that's been lost to time. Even some like pre-Y2K era stuff. And I'm like, it gave me this this eye-opening moment where I'm like, if I were to die, which we're all going to die one day, it's biology, right? What would happen to everything that is around me in terms of my loved ones? I don't want to leave my loved ones. Like, my family is everything. My responsibilities, people that depend on me. And then it branched out to like, what about my books? What about my comics? What about my video games? And like that stuff it's material. You can't take that with you, you know? It's nothing. It's just matter. But I think information and education are two of the most important things that we should pass down. 101%. And it made me think a lot of the Dark Cloud knowledge that I have could be lost. And around that time, I just reached out to level 5 employees, and I was able to get in contact with them and ask them about a lot of burning questions that we as a fan base have been asking for years. So I'm like, well, all this information that I have that, was told to me anonymously in confidence would be gone. And these people who worked on these games, if they were to pass away, that information would be gone too. We'd have no way to access it anymore. So it really gave me this eye-opening moment of like preservation of information and of knowledge, of verbal storytelling, of that stuff's so important. So I told myself that I want to, at least it naturally grew. I'm like, I just want to make a translation video of 1999 TGS. I did that. I'm like, oh, okay. But I have these interviews that I did, and I posted them on Reddit. A lot of people seemed like they were very interested. But here's the number one mistake that I made. I assume people want to read. People don't want to read. So I'm like, well, how can I take this information and make it as approachable as possible? And oh my God, it's Kalia. Yo, it's Kalia. Kalia, you're a celebrity. But yeah, I thought like, what's the best way to make this information as digestible for people? And I'm like, well, videos. People love watching videos. And growing up, like in 2010, it really frustrated me because I knew, even as a young child, that there was so much more to Dark Cloud than that one early demo that we saw, that one early video that we saw. So I'm like, I'm going to take it upon myself. I'm going to make sure that, I guess I'll make a channel and I'll post this translation. And then I was like, well, let me do a video version of the interviews. And then it became 3 videos. And I'm like, well, let me do one on a secret topic. I'm not going to say what it is. And I did that one. And it's been done for a while. But this all grew and sort of oh, okay, Osmondo, we talked about old textures and even talked about Hidden Castle's projects. Yeah, the thing is about the compendiums, I spent a year just planning the compendium. 2019 was a year of planning. I made sure that I had all my ducks in a row, and I completed videos. I worked on my voiceover. The reason why my voiceover was so stiff before was I took more of a documentary point of view. In documentaries, people don't have a lot of character in their voice. The information on screen is a character, not the narrator, unless you're Morgan Freeman. And Lord knows I'm not Morgan Freeman. Nowhere close. So, yeah, I was very stiff before, but a lot of people said, hey, it's very stiff. What's going on here? And I'm like, well, okay, people want to see it different. I'll do it differently. People talked about the audio quality being low, which again, that's a remnant of the compendium being a personal project of mine. I have very sensitive hearing, very good hearing, but very sensitive hearing. So I'm like, oh, I like my audio a little low, but people want it louder. So like I raised it by 30 decibels, bought a better microphone. I'm like, okay, let's go. I'm like, little by little, slowly but surely, kept on growing. And it's interesting because it's growing as the Dark Cloud community is growing. So every now and then, there might be someone who says like, oh, I discovered the Dark Cloud Compendium through the Reddit. And then there's others that say, hey, I discovered Dark Cloud as a game through the Compendium. Which is very interesting. It's cool seeing where these people are coming from, and each and every one of you, you're the reason why the compendium is here and the compendium is ongoing. like I said, like I lead a very busy lifestyle, and the compendium has just become a part of my day. I'm always thinking about the compendium. I'm always thinking about what I can do for you guys to entertain all of you folks, as well as to educate and to teach. I love that. That's what I'm passionate about. Um, so we're gonna hit the 1,000 mark soon, and that's something wonderful. I'm very flattered and I'm very thankful. So Derek Marler says the main thing that has always made me like Dark Cloud is due to its troubled development. It's like a giant enigma that's begging to be explored. Yeah, exactly right. Osmondo says, I don't know how I discovered it. I just had it. I love it. I love it. Did a loved one give you it, or did you, maybe was it like a hand me down? Kalia Silver says, yes, new dialogue discovery. I guess it's nice. I'll make points on the Discord later. Somehow, the Dark Cloud 1 intro, it's not possible, but somehow. For now, good night. I feel like the hell is Talon saying it to Xiao. Yeah, exactly. Take care, Kalia. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for joining us. So, I end up taking 9 months off of my job. This is in 2019. 9 months off of my career. Specifically to work on the compendium, and believe me, explaining that to your boss is interesting. Yeah. So I spent 9 months off of work, doing nothing at all. Compendium, Dark Cloud, Dark Cloud, Dark Cloud. That's it. It was nice because it gave me a lot of time to kind of sit with loved ones and to see loved ones again. I just came out of like I was a student for a long time, a long time, my whole life actually. So, and I jumped straight into the workforce, and I was working on my career while I was in university. So I told the person that, my boss, I told him like I want to take 9 months off and figure things out. And I had a lot of options, 3 options. Like I could work on 2 things. I could work on, bodybuilding, work on Dark Cloud, or I could work on some other personal project of mine. I chose to, like, in the day, kind of work on bodybuilding because like that's what I love. I love competitive bodybuilding, and it's challenging because I do it like all naturally. So no proteins, no powders, none of that garbage. All the proteins come from food. That's where protein's supposed to come from. Don't let people tell you otherwise. And it's a villainous face. So I love this. I love zooming out on this because it looks like he's stuck inside of a purgatory. No, someone save him. So yeah. So I worked on making myself bigger and all that, but I also wanted to work on the compendium as well. So like that was my responsibility, day and night. Just making sure the compendium was 100%, 100% ready even. I think that's the reason why the compendium was really able to hit the floor running. Kalia says, blue water, the desert. I'm probably tired. Osmondo says, thank you. You're a king average YouTube watcher. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for saying that to Kalia. I think compliments are always appreciated, right? Okay. But it all comes down to dedication. If you want something, you make sure you get it. You're the only person that could get it, right? No one else is going to do the work for you. And I crashed it. Lovely. Looking for a game to capture. You'll find one soon, my friend. But yeah, if you want something, you have to work hard at it. And I have no experience in terms of video creation, no experience in editing, no experience in voiceover, no experience in any of that, So it was just a matter of just learning on the spot. And no one else is going to do the work for you. And like that's the thing about the compendium is there wasn't anybody else really doing this like in-depth Dark Cloud history, episode by episode. So for the 1000 special, and I'm so flattered, I'm so honored that 1,000 of you are here, over 41,000 channel viewers from across the world. I decided to maybe do like a face reveal or something like that. So that's something I wanted to do earlier on, So from I lost about 50 pounds. I was working. I'm like, if I'm gonna be on camera, I want to make myself look presentable. So I shed about 50 pounds. I stopped doing bodybuilding and swapped that for cardio, and it's been an adventure, you know. Derek Marlowe says, I love how everyone in Dark Cloud does crazy matrix jumps on the regular. I swear, these people have the finest leg muscles in gaming. Yeah, man, I'm jealous. Let me tell you something. You know, Jamie Jackson sends his love right back at you. I appreciate the positivity. Emo Udiu says, good to head out. Thank you so much for having us. Thank you for joining us, Udiu. It's been an honor. And I hope you could join us for next time. Just your average random watcher says goodnight to Kalia. Something funny says, hey, look, it's Jurak. Yeah. So it's interesting. We discovered that Jurak was supposed to have eyelashes along his eyes. I'm not sure why they scrapped that. This boy could use some eyelashes. Speaking Simlish. So for any of the new viewers just jumping in, if you have any requests for the free camera, was it this one? No, it was the earrings, right? Where are the earrings? Those gosh darn earrings. Where could they be? Is it Jurak or is it Trent? Who knows? It's one of nature's mysteries. Alright, I'm blind as a bat. Here we go. No! There we are. Okay. So again, we get a good look at, I was going to call him Cloud, a good look at Tone. So his head with the hair is a separate head model. Beneath his hat is just like a little donut of hair, but it's not the full thing. Francisco Diaz says, oh my god, I haven't played this game in 5 years. Now I will. Happy anniversary. My first RPG game. My childhood game, forever treasured. Yes, Francisco. Yes, that's exactly it. That's 101% it. And you know, you're not the only one. There's about 4,000 active users on Dark Cloud's Reddit. We have an entire Dark Cloud Discord where we just talk about the series. Oh, I love those eyes. He's giving that stink eye. But yeah, Francisco, welcome to the fan base. You know, we're small, but we're passionate. We're very vocal. And we're the most talented fan base out there. Oh no, he's got the COVID, be careful. How uncivilized. As you can see, this effect it's an area of effect, you know. It doesn't encompass the whole area, just a very certain. And it's a 2D effect, so no matter where you rotate, it'll always be pointing towards you. Okay, we're good. Go for it. The sword isn't there when we zoom out. Hey, Derek, take care. Take care. It's been lovely talking, and I'm very happy you're able to join us. There, go on, accept it. Okay, the serpent sword. Someone commented, it looks like a watermelon sword, and I could see that now. Eat your heart out, Fudo. Okay, so, got the serpent sword. No! The serpent sword wants to fight with something, yeah! I love it. It's like one of those 1930s boxers. Those bare-knuckle boxers. Yeah, rotating 2D image, that's exactly it. Francisco, come join us. We'd love to have you. It's a big community, a big friendly community. We'd love to have you join. So let's jump in. Oh, if we jump into Matsutake, it gives us this prompt over here. Now, I can't read Japanese, but I remember when I did translate it, it says something like, thank you for playing the Dark Cloud demo. If you enjoy this game, feel free to check it out when the game releases. So this is a remnant of either the E3 demo or the Tokyo Game Show demo, and as you can see, it crashed. Let's open it up again. Run ISO. Yeah, Jamie says it always looked like a watermelon. Yeah, that's exactly it. And he hit the nail on the head, Osmondo. It was a texture. My 4 a.m. brain didn't get that. Okay. So we're back in Norrin Village. So who do we have? We have My House, Laura, Paige, Claude, River, Hag. I'll do this one more time just for the new viewers that are just jumping in. Elena VA says, Discord, where? Elena, I'll tell you what, if you leave a comment on any Dark Cloud video in my channel, just asking for the Discord link, I'd love to give it to you. I'm not able to right now, but like as soon as I'm done stream, I'll do that. Again, would love to have you. It's a very friendly group of people, and it's quite the big community. Honestly, jumping into it, I've been in the Dark Cloud community for a little while, and just watching it grow organically is like the best thing. I must talk more Dark Cloud, people. Yeah, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. This is really cool though. Let's zoom out. Now, one thing I like doing is making it so small, it looks like a marble. Ah, it says, okay, we're good. I shall do, yeah, no, definitely do it, definitely do it. All right, we get it. There we go. The Horned Key. Yes, please do the same for me. No worries, Francisco. So if you wanted to, just leave a comment on any video, and I'll send you the invite link. I love those zoom outs. Yeah, I want to do more. I'm just trying to think of nice areas to do zoom outs. We'll do one over here. Just of Norway as a whole. Where is Gaffer? There he is. That rascal. That old man. I love this. This is when I got, so fun fact, when I when the debug codes were handed to me, and the debug game share codes in 2019, the first thing I did was like 4 in the morning, just like now. I was very excited, and I jumped. I'm like, I need to check out what Gaffer looks like under the little sombrero thing he's got going on. And again, 4 in the morning, and I see Gaffer with no eyes. I'm like, holy cannoli! And I just shut the console off. Like, what did I just see? Take a picture of like, I must share it with everyone. No one's gonna believe me. Send that bad boy. Yes, Frog King. Hey, tell you what, leave a comment and I'll drop it. Look at those trees though, the level of detail. You can see the detail, it gets more populated as you go along. Now that's a development trick to save on polygon, right? To save on the polygons rendered on screen, they lower the level of detail. Now this is what they mean by diorama RPG if you will. It's almost like you're just looking into a world, you know, from an aerial view, and you kind of mess around and play with it, which is so cool. By the way, I'm better than Jude. No, hey, you're all wonderful. I can't grade you all. Can't put one above the other. It's like grading who's your favorite child. You don't do that. You're all amazing. I love this. The zoom in. Very cool. Not quite right yet. Move to the right. You're a slave driver. He's also like a genetic freak if you look at his eyes. An anomaly. He has no soul. Yeah, I don't know about that. Let's jump into the river. Well, first we'll do the pond. Very cool. So if you look at the water effects in the Tokyo Game Show demo, it looked much more advanced and wonderful. It really pushed the limits of the PS2. Osmana says, "Aight, we ain't children." All right, hey, relax. It was there we go. So there is a few things of interest in Norun, which I think is always overlooked. We have this sign over here above Dran's windmill, which says Doran. D-O-R-A-N. That's his Japanese name when you get to the pronunciation. And then we have... I can't make this one out. But... Osmonder, you're too funny. Get out of here. Kojin, who's this nerd? I don't know. Who am I? Where am I? Hidden Castle, secretly senile. Kojin's just the first one to point it out. So this says, I believe it says up killer? Like, what's going on here? Like, OPKILL. I don't know, something's going on there. So we can't... There's also a couple of obscure texts inside of the Mustache, Mr. Mustache's shop. But like one thing that I was always very curious about was looking at some of the more inaccessible areas within people's houses. So, like I always thought, like, is this stock art? Is this concept art? Where, like, someone had to make this, right? I know sometimes the video games just pop up whatever's there, but I don't know. Like, this looks like Dark Heaven Castle to me. It's even floating from the sky, or like peeking out of the clouds. Oppa Gangnam Style, yes, exactly. You know it. This ethereal looking landscape up here. So let's jump over to... Did we crash the game? I hope we didn't. Ah, rats. Looks like we did. I should be going. You all have a good night. Hey, random watcher. Take care. It was lovely having you. Hope you can join us for next time. Are you going to work or are you going to not work? What's going on here? Okay, we're good to go. So, let's go to C99. What's going on there? So, scene 99 takes us to the scene where you fight with Seda, where you obtain the change potion. Oh, Crunkles. No, jump back. We're good. Okay. Curiously, though, a lot of the effects aren't enabled. So the fire for the torches. Then you also have this very bizarre-looking water texture. This isn't used anywhere else in the game. Now, I'm not sure if it's beta water, but it's unused water. Because even in this scene, when you play it regularly, the water does not look like this. That was a small touch, it's just water, but something I wanted to point out. Oh, come on, I just wanted to cross. But here's what the stairs look like once you descend. If the camera let us. There we go. Hidden Castle! I said bye, scroll up. Oh, Hidden Castle, you're gonna leave. I'm gonna sleep for sahur. Take care, buddy. I didn't get any, so tomorrow's gonna be rough. Take care. Take care. Hope you have a good night, and it was lovely seeing you. Come join us for next time. We'll have a lot of fun. So scene 98 gets us to... Let's fall down and see what happens there. Oh, really? Come on. It's time to give us a video. '97. Is this the scene with the snake? Because we can alter the camera. Yeah, okay, cool. Now, if this isn't going to have a seizure for a second, just want to make sure that everybody's okay, because I know these flashing images don't agree with a lot of people. I want to make sure everybody's safe. It's just... No. Debug move, no. Character on, off. Turns a character on, off. Who would have thought? Okay, well. This scene's a bust. Okay. So run event. Aha, there we go. So one thing that's curious about these enemies in particular is they're part of a set. And you would assume that, but they all have the same logo. Look at that ram with the broken skull. You can see that on a shirt as well. Very cool. They have matching outfits. See, that's how you know it's a crew worth being a part of. We gotta get matching outfits for the Dark Cloud community. What's going on here? Okay. Brando's speechless. I don't blame you. They're all speechless. Silence speaks more than words sometimes. So let's get a better look at Lysia, pardon me. You clip through her bangs, which is pretty funny. Sorry, let's try and get a better perspective. We have the moon orb. Kojin says, look at this guy using D3, D11. That's exactly it. Brandon Slaughter says, will this stream be viewable on YouTube later? I'd love to. One of my favorite things is catching up on streams from some of my favorite content creators. So if I'm able to find a way to enable that, for sure. This is my first test stream, so I need to find out how to do that. And I'm crossing my fingers and hoping that it's being recorded by OBS right now. So if it is recorded by OBS, absolutely. If it's not, then we'll have to do another one later. It'll just give us more of an excuse to do this more often. So is this still in goal? No. What's the Maris sign say? Honestly, I'm not able to make it out. Okay, let's run the event for this. Let's see what's inside of the crypt. You have the moon signet over here. Okay, let's see how this looks like from the opposite side. Come on, Tone, open the door. Ah, okay. Well, I guess he doesn't want to play with us. No worries. Holy cannoli, he didn't even open it. What a sorcerer. Turns out Tone is secretly the Dark Genie all along. Black magic, witchcraft, heresy, I say. It's a rockin' beat, though. Bop in my head. So, what lies beyond the eye? Nothing, eh? Interesting. What about below? Where the coffin? Because sometimes these 3D models... Ah, there we go. Interesting. I didn't know there's a pathway there along the stairs. Oh, I guess that's where you go after you defeat the boss. Screenshot those pictures and send them to me at one point. Yeah, of course. So Blad says, are you playing the regular retail version or is this a pre-build? Oh, it's a debug build. So it comes with debug functionality enabled. So first things first, let's get a better view of our actor on scene here. He has this like dead fish looking thing going on in the back. Now you can see that somewhat along the door behind Tone. It looks similar, but I don't know. Oh my goodness, what's going on along the sides? You have like a person in the bottom left. I don't know. It looks like a llama sideways to the bottom right, but inscriptions mirrored on both sides. This is one of my favorite boss fights. It just looks... Whoa, what's going on here? Ah! All this garbage data. It's got a bit of that red eye going on. Flavio the pianist says, "Where's Dark Cloud 3 at, Sony?" Yeah, that's exactly it. Where is it at? Maybe Dark Cloud 3 is the friends we made all along. Is he still on screen? He is. He's just a floating eyeball. He's staring menacingly. And what's going... Tone, is he... Okay, look, he's fusing into to Spirit King. Okay, so that loaded up the events, but we can't load the battles because this is a debug build and battles aren't enabled natively. Jamie Jackson says, "I used to be so creeped out by the King's Curse. Just a wave chases you." Yeah, man. You're speaking my language. That's exactly it. Okay, I'm going to mess up the graphics for a little bit, but it'll give us a better view of the debug menu. There we go. There's no middle ground, is there? Okay. We just saw that. So R2 enables the music, right? So I have game flags, quest, party number. So if I make my party number 5 and close it, if we go to allies, I'll have all 5 allies, right? But if I... So... Aha. There we go, the background music. Frog King says, "Sadly, Dark Cloud 3 won't ever be made." You know what? We gotta believe, man. We gotta believe. Right? So, pretty self-explanatory stuff, right? Let's play nothing. What was this one? Ah, okay. No, it's off. We do sound effects. Very cool. So let's jump back to another scene. Let's make the graphics nice. There we are. $291. So this is where this scene always gives me trouble, so I'm not gonna entertain it for too long. But I believe this is where you see Osmond for the first time, if it wants to work. See, what's curious is the black lines along the area. I don't know why that's not rendering. Should render. Is he sleeping or is he just faking it? What's going on here? Oh no! A poor little bunny. Yeah, I feel you, Flavio. I feel you. We all feel you. Dark Cloud 3 would be great, but, you know, it's just not going to happen now. Maybe one day. So, could we play with our actors? We can. We could move... Sorry. We could move tone around somewhat. So, let's see if we can move Osmond as well. We should be able to, in theory. Let's take a bit of fiddling with. No? Rats. Okay, no worries. Jude Davila says, "What are you using?" So in terms of what I'm doing right now, I'm using the free camera. So the free camera enables us to have an unrestricted view of the cutscenes that take place in Dark Cloud. Unrestricted, but it's not letting me do it now. The Frog King says, "Sony owns the rights to the Dark Cloud series. Level 5 would have to pay royalties." Exactly, that's what it comes down to, unfortunately. It's all about the bottom line. Oh, and who are you? Well, I'm just an invisible man. Who are you? Okay, hold on. Let's let him hover up. That blew my mind as a kid, though. Like, having him fly like that. Okay. Trying to move him right now, but I'm not able to. Okay, I can move the point of view. Aha. That's not helping. Let's go to a different scene. Oh, goodness gracious. Spaghetti and meatballs. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to reset the emulator real quick, just because it is giving us a bit of trouble where I believe it's not supposed to. Scene 90 is where we're at. Let's just reset. Food ISO full. Yes, please. There we go. Brandon says there's like a 3% chance of Dark Cloud 3. So much potential, especially on PS5 hardware. Yeah, I agree. 101%. Honestly, there's so much potential there. OBS. Is there any way to save the stream? That way I could have a documentation of this. Yeah, I guess we'll have to figure that out when we get there, won't we, friends? We've been streaming for 2 hours. Holy cannoli. Yes, friends, it is 4:11 in the morning. The castle never sleeps. The castle never gets tired. That's what it comes down to. I'm sorry for that brief intermission. It just occurred to me that you're not able to see what I'm able to see on the screen. So we're at scene 90? Oh my goodness. There we go. All right. So we were accessing the event. There we are. Good stuff. So something funny says, my concern for Dark Cloud 3 is it becoming too generic. Yeah, I agree. I agree 101%. And the Frog King chimes in by saying, very small chance, but Level 5 would rather make their own games. Yes, that's exactly it. Then, yeah. That's exactly what I was told in terms of what's going on. It's just where we are right now. But it won't always be like this. I think things will change, but it just has to be the right timing, you know? Let's zoom out. The crater on the moon. It's like casually phased through. There we go. So, thank you. Thank you so much. So Blad says, if I may ask, could you tell us a story of how you managed to get this build of the game? Yes. It's a very interesting story. So, gather around everybody. This digital campfire, if you will. There we go. So it's interesting. What happened is a friend of mine by the name of Punk7890, who's a PS2 enthusiast. What he does is he goes through the data of PS2 games and he looks for missing and cut content, right? So one of his projects that he was working on for a little while was going through PlayStation 2 demo discs. Look at how dopey this cow man looks like. He's even got a cowbell. Look at that. So, yeah, he was going through the data of PlayStation 2 demo discs, and he was going through like the file structures of them, because like the thing is about these demo discs is like not only do they include early versions of games, like beta builds of games, but sometimes there's a lot of garbage data they leave left behind that is useful, you know, and we crashed it. Lovely. Aha. Okay, so we'll jump back in. So what happened is he ended up going through, I believe it was PlayStation Magazine America, December 2001. And he found like, so here's how it works. How demo discs work is there's like executables on the disk. Like you have the main hub, and then let's say you pick Spyro, it'll load Spyro from the files. If you pick Tony Hawk, it'll load Tony Hawk from the files. Or if you pick Where Is My Magic, it would naturally pick Where Is My Magic. What else would it do? So he found corresponding game values for the games that are listed on the box, but there was some garbage data for PS2 games are run in .elf format. So he found a .elf file on there that didn't represent any game. So when he did make it into a bootable format that PlayStation 2 could read, it ended up being this Dark Cloud debug build released on a demo disk for the public. The thing is, Dark Cloud wasn't mentioned anywhere on the game, on the demo disk's box art. Wasn't mentioned anywhere. So it was quite the surprise. And it crashed again. Lovely. So he ended up reaching out to me and said, I believe I have something you might be interested in. And it was, sorry, why is it not showing? It was Dark Cloud's debug build that you see right now. And so right now, what I'm using is a Dark Cloud debug cheats to get into debug rooms and all that. But yeah, so the build was actually released Sony ended up printing it on a disc. The TLDR is Sony released a demo disc for PlayStation 2, and on the demo disc, it didn't say anything about Dark Cloud, but they included Dark Cloud's debug build on there as like garbage data to make the games load faster. Essentially with CD format is the more full your CD is, the faster the CD will load. If there's empty space on there, it'll just make the game load longer for no reason. So I theorize they put this data on there to kind of speed up the loading process. Where are we? The void. Lovely. Can we land anywhere in the void? It's not a very neighborly looking area. No, we can't. No worries. Moving on. We're back in the void. Let's try to run our vents. Maybe there's a vent here. No? Good to know. So he ended up making that garbage data into a bootable file, and it turns out that it was the Dark Cloud debug build. So what I did is I ended up buying a version of that PlayStation 2 demo, and I kind of also went through and grabbed that garbage data and made this little image that I'm messing around with right now. And that's the most curious thing about it all, is like this was released on a demo disc for the public. Just people couldn't see it. They never assumed that you'd be able to see it. So, where are we? Just trying to catch up on chat. Brandon Slaughter says, if the feel of the game is there, they can call it whatever. That's true. Like Dark Souls and Demon Souls. As long as it has an iconic fantasy feel, the city and town building, randomly generated areas, I'll be happy. I think Georama, though, is trademarked. I'm not sure if it's trademarked by Sony or Level 5, but I believe it's trademarked. LNS says, rest in peace. Yeah, right? In the void? No one could hear you scream. So here is the top of the demon shaft. So let's run through a few things first. First things first, if you jump over this door, you could actually see an unused door that's used nowhere in the demon shaft. If we can kind of clip through. Where are we? Right here. Come on. Okay. No. Oh, okay. Right here. This little platform is different than the platform you usually see in the demon shaft. And then we use our handy dandy moon jump code to jump above. We can find the moon is actually a 2D image. So let's run our event. Let's see what happens. Again, we can use our free camera over here, unrestricted view. So we'll continue. It's $4.99. Ah, okay. Ah, I see. Interesting. So we gotta see where the Dark Knight Pendragon is before he bursts from the top. Is he already loaded? Is he hanging out up there? Sometimes with these 3D games. They use quite clever tricks to render out their scenes. No, like this way, please. Thank you. This way, please. Thank you. There we go. Good. Doesn't want to listen. Okay, no worries. Right before he bursts, we'll pan the camera up and see what level 5 didn't want us to see. No, that's not what's going on. Alright, let's zoom up. Okay. We just missed him. Holy cannoli. Alright, let's get a better view of this guy. It's freezing. And it's not letting us have our unrestricted view. We get a view of Tone. We can move Tone around. This is one actor, so let's see if we can move someone else. We can move our free camera. Tone's daddy. I've got to work in 6 hours. I'm screwed. No! Kaylee, listen, alright? I'll try to post this whole broadcast, and you catch it later on. It's certainly not the last one we're going to do. Blad says, from memory, recently a whole heap of pre-built PS2 ISOs were found. Oh yeah, no. That, I was like Operation something, but this has nothing to do with it. This was found 2 years ago, actually. Francisco says, I remember this part of the game. LMFVA says, not flat Earth, but what about the flat moon? Ooh, now you're thinking big brain. I love it. Now, where the heck are we? What's going on? What's going on? Okay. So we have the music. Let's see if we can mess with the music for a little bit. Sound set. No, okay. Sound effects, background music. This is more fitting, I guess. Where's that Dark Knight Pendragon? I'll torch him. I never noticed these windows being boarded up. Okay. Well, Brandon Slaughter says, I'm passing out, but I want to see the full stream. If it'll be viewable on YouTube, that'd be amazing. This stream was amazing. Hey, thank you so much. Honestly, this stream was a bit of a last addition to my night. I just finished translating a lot of the Dark Cloud manga video stuff. So I had like a lot of I had some spare time, and I'm like, I want to do something. I want to connect with this lovely audience, the best audience in the world, the Compendium audience. Look at this guy. I bet he doesn't even brush his teeth in the morning. Look at it. Oh my goodness. You want to close your mouth? I could smell you from here. Let's get a view of this bad boy. He has no legs. Lovely. Don't you just hate it when your weird, black, nasty looking monster thing is missing legs? There's a Visine for that. I'll be getting off in like 10-ish. Francisco Diaz says, I remember Dark Cloud to my friend last week. She started playing 2 days ago. What the heck? Where was I when this game came out? She said, yeah, man, like it's crazy. I think like this is a very cool effect. I love this weird looking orb. But Dark Cloud was one of those games that a lot of people saw, but they didn't play, you know, from my experience. But it's awesome being able to, you know, show Dark Cloud to people that aren't, you know, used to these Giorama RPGs. You know, they aged very well. Kalia says, lol, I napped earlier. That probably could explain why I haven't been able to sleep. I'm nauseous a bit. I'm drinking water while I get tired and watch. If you have any yogurt's very good for you when you're nauseous. It has antibodies, antibacterial properties, so like whatever's in your stomach that's giving you trouble. Plain Balkan yogurt's very good for that. Or yogurt, any yogurt at all. Mr. Carvin says, "Hey, I can't wait for the full translation." Yeah, it's, oh my goodness, I bit more than I can chew with that. I think I had to do I think it was 94 panels and over 180 lines, and like pull my hairs out. But it's done. It's done. Now I just have to resize the images, get the voiceover done, put the darn thing together, then we're ready to go. I'm hoping by the end of the month that it'll be good, but we'll have to see. I love the snazzy looking pattern in the dragon's mouth. Hmm. I want to see where he is before the window breaks. Honestly, I zoomed out really far. I think that I don't think we're able to see where he comes from. I think it just spawns because I tried seeing the spawn point and it was tricky. So the thing is about this debug is we're not able to go to Matsutake Village. I'd love to show off some Matsutake, but I'm not able to. This whole area has been walled out. Ah. Like spider-like? I love spiders. Spiders are great. Now, if you guys have any requests for free camera or debug footage, there we go. We have some of our items. Some items work better than others. But this one here, the shell ring, was not used. It's interesting because it was referenced in the North American Strategy Guide, but it wasn't used in the final version of the game. We also have... Why don't you want to work? There we go. We have the magical lamp, which would have been used to summon Ruby. Ah, sorry, that noise is grating. The flame key, which belongs to a flame dungeon. This is a good one. Kind of a bit of a recap for newer viewers that are just jumping in. Because we're at 20. This is the most that I've had all night. At 4:26 in the morning. So yeah, there's a fun story about the flame key. And I'll just get out of there so we don't have that noise. This belonged to a cut flame dungeon. There was once supposed to be an additional dungeon in Dark Cloud, which didn't make it into the final version of the game. Unfortunately, what happened was Level 5 were not able to complete everything that they wanted to during the time allotted by Sony. So two things were cut, three, I guess, three significant things. One village portion, which would have been a flame-like centered village. It would have been above Norun. That map is vacant in the game. And then there was a flame dungeon, which belonged to this flame key. And there was also a playable Seda, a playable character that was removed. That was Seda. And we have a whole video here on the compendium of playable Seda. So if you want to check that out and learn the story behind that, it's quite the tale. So jumping in the chat, Blad says, "Fun fact, I've never finished this. The furthest I've got was the 5th floor of the moon, sadly." Hey, Blathers, you have all the time in the world to finish it. No rush, no rush. Take your time. Elena says, "Alright, I gotta head out. I'm very tired, but I'll be back for the Discord." Like, yes, you do that. You do that. And we'll be very happy to have you, and thank you for joining us. Kelia says, "Breakfast tomorrow, but well, it's neat to know." And Jamie Jackson says, "Dark Cloud's ahead of its time." It really was. It really was. Juice Nozzle says, "Hi, Mrada, Mount Gundor, and Gaspard." Yeah, right. You took the words right out of my mouth. The thing is with Mount Gundor and its accompanying Giorama area, they were very similar. The thing is like I feel like there should be more remnants, but so far the only remnant that we found is this flame key, as well as there's text. There's these unused items of 3D models, but there's also unused items that are featured only in text. And there's an item called Spirit Water, and it says that it comes from Miraculous Peaks. So perhaps that area, this mountainous area, would have been called Miraculous Peaks. but that's speculation on my part. But it's a very educated guess, because if you look at the 3D renders of Norrøn Village and the promotional 3D images, there was a mountainous area, and that area is nowhere in the game. What else is there? The Medusa powder, which petrifies enemies for a while. We have the warp powder, as well as, there we go. This is great over here. The Witch Parfait actually has a skull inside of it. Usually you'd only see the plain side, which looks like ice cream. Very delicious, in fact. When you rotate the camera and have an unrestricted view, you're in for a spooky surprise. My goodness. So Brandon Slaughter says, is there a free camera for Dark Cloud 2? Yeah, I think so. No, there is, 100%. It's a little more difficult to kind of navigate around, but it's there. I'd love to do it one day to kind of show it off and demonstrate it, because I've never actually used it. So there's a first time for everything. Cheese Nozzle says, hi Mrata, and the ocarina kind of look like the fire horn. It does, doesn't it? It really does. But there's something else I'm looking for here. I can't quite find it, unfortunately. Okay. Alright, well, I guess it's not going to be there, and there's no problem with that. So, let's just alter the graphics for a little bit. If we... Where are we? So, if we make our party number, let's say, 100... I'll do 127. Let's exit this. There we go. You can see we have 197 spaces. Very curious. Oh no, it crashed the game. It didn't like that. No, it crashed the game. Okay. So I believe there was a test widget that I might have not clicked record on, so that might have not recorded the stream. But I really hope YouTube records it and allows me to post it. There we go. Yes, I love it. There's like a little reunion going on. Mr. Carbon Mister and Juice. The Dark Cloud community is very tight-knit. Brandon Slaughter, take care. It was lovely, man. It was nice having you. And hopefully you can join us for next time. And there we go. Chief Snozzle says, not nearly enough Osmond. Yeah, I agree. 101%. Much love, Brandon. Take care. Take care. Kalia Silver says, a sun symbol. Sun symbol. Aga drunkenly smashes the window. I definitely believe it's him. The sun motif, the cape, the kitty mountain. Yeah, you know, honestly, I could see that. I could see that. Whew. Alrighty. Let's jump into Queens. Again, for a lot of our new viewers, we'll do this very cool zoom out just to show you how massive Queens is as an area. So this stream can be one of two things. It can either be lost media, either it's never going to be preserved, or YouTube will preserve it. Crossing my fingers for the latter. YouTube, come on, help me out here. But yeah, look at this. It's all rendered. That's amazing. That's the power of the PS2, guaranteed. Super strong. Alrighty, come on, let's go. So we can use our moon jump to jump around wherever we want. Let's see what the top of the leaning tower looks like. It's a bit of a handle thing going on there. Is there a collision? Can we land on it? Doesn't seem like it. All right. So in terms, yeah. So Juice Nozzle says it's crazy how much of it was kept rendered for basically launch title. That's the thing. When I was speaking to my sources at Level 5, is they said that Sony congratulated them for being able to utilize the PlayStation 2 hardware. They were a team that were noted by Sony by the end of the development, because PS2's hardware was very difficult to grapple with. It was fast. It was a very fast console, but it also demanded a lot from the programmers. The Emotion Engine, which was a technical marvel, wasn't the easiest thing to learn or to grapple with, especially for a new studio like Level 5 that cut its teeth on PlayStation 1 games. Pardon me. A lot of Level 5's employees worked at Raven Hillsoft, one of the two. And they made games like Dr. Hauser on the CDI, Overblood. Akihiro Hino, the director of Level 5, the director of Dark Cloud and founder of Level 5, directed Overblood on the PlayStation 1, which was, I believe, published by Activision or Kemco. But they were a PS1 studio, more or less. A lot of their experience was made on the PS1 and the CDI. So to have them jump to a new console like the PlayStation 2, a difficult console to program for, was an interesting move, but it paid off in spades. Night night, can't focus now. Kalia, you're taking the words right out of my mouth. I think I made like 4 or 5 mistakes just talking about Overblood and Akihiro Hino. I'm stumbling. Yeah, it is 4:35 in the morning. I think we're going to call it a night, friends. But you know what? Thank you so much for joining us. This has been wonderful. You know, the dialogue that we had was amazing. I'm looking forward to doing this next time. This stream was supposed to be a quick 15-minute stream, and it ended up almost being 2 hours. Yeah, that's a compendium. It just naturally grows. But you know, it's one of those things where it kept on going and going, and I had a lot of fun. And I'm happy that you were all able to join us. And hey, let's do this again sometime. Real quick, before we go, is there any requests for any free camera shenanigans? Anything at all? Any scenes you want to look at before we go? Juice Nozzle says, I gotta stream Dark Cloud 1 to show Carbon how unforgiving it is compared to 2. Dark Cloud is a next level series when it comes to this stuff. No wonder you got caught up. Yeah, exactly, right? If it's not one thing, it's another. Trying to stream for 15 minutes, it becomes almost 2 hours. But that's the thing, there's so much to see, Juice Nozzle, right? Yes, Mr. Carbon agrees. 101%. Trying to think, is there anything we didn't do in terms of free camera? Joker store? No, I don't know. Yes, something funny says, the naked Claude scene. We already did that before, but you best believe we'll do it again. Lovely. Alright. So the thing is about this scene is we have to wait until a very specific time of the day. So let's see if we can speed that up. And I pointed out before, but there's only 50% completion here. This is a town that's made by Level 5 preset. And if you look, the Muscle Brothers are very far away from the dungeon. Come on, guys, you had one job. You know what? Let's change that. I'm the kind of person where if there's a mistake or an issue right in front of me, I have to solve it. There you go. Yeah! Amazing. Okay. Naked Claude, yes, right? Vlad says, awesome stream, glad to be part of it. Take care, everyone, and have a good one. Right back at you, Vlad. It's very nice to have that dialogue between you and I hope we can do it again. And who knows, you know, this stream might become lost media, so at least I have a couple of people that witnessed it, you know. If we're able to save it, I'd love to do that too. Historical purposes, right? Are there duels in the debug version? No, because there's no dungeons and battles. The only duel that I believe you can initiate is the one with Goro, which I demonstrated earlier. Come on, come on. Is it not nighttime yet? There we go. The dusk. I think Naked Claude is everybody's vote. Or is that Claude? Jean-Claude Van Damme. Look at him. He's sleeping. He's been sleeping the whole day. This guy, he has like a little house for Pally. And then look what he does. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Ah, it has to be here somewhere. Maybe in here? You're like, what's Hidden Castle even trying to show me? I'll get there, I promise. There we go. He has a house for Pally, and then he has a trap laid out for him. Make up your mind. Is Pally your friend? Do you want to house him and take care of him, or do you want to kill him? That's the one thing I don't agree with Claude. Aside from the shower scene, I don't agree with that either. But like, I don't know. You can't just hurt mice like that. There's more ethical ways to go about that. The snake duel definitely terrified me when you lose. Yes, when you do the free camera, it's even worse. Because Tone just like crumples up his body in a weird way. Sorry, I didn't mean to go through it twice. That stalking sound, yeah, for sure. Arnaud says, I wonder if we could see Tone's face when he loses with the snake duel, or was it just they were surprising when I discovered the game. You can. He's very shocked. He's very shocked. He's definitely not happy to be eaten by a snake, and I don't think anybody would be. Wrong scene. Tone. Come on. Tone's like, peace out, I'm done. I'm out of here. Good to see I made you a new pouch. It's for you. That's really nice of her. No, we're not trying to zoom in the camera. Let's do a quick zoom out. No. Whatever. We'll zoom into the floor. It's a good perspective. There we go. Okay, we're good to go. We can finally see that Claude scene. It's what we've been waiting for. Are you ready? Because I don't think I'm ready. Oh my goodness. We still can't get in there. When is it? When is this behemoth landmass gonna wake up? Come on, let's go. He's huge though. You know he's strong. Like he's powerful, you know? There was this one boxer named Butterbean in the 90s, and this guy was like, he was a little heavier, but he was so strong, right? He had a crazy record for a little while, a win-loss record. And a lot of people discount, like, oh, well, he's heavy. And it's like, no, like when it came to getting in the ring, this guy was powerful. Love to see a no-holds-barred fight between Macho and Claude. You know that'd be worth the money, right? Oh my goodness. The dude's wearing jeans. He showers in jeans. Like, if you're gonna shower in jeans and still be barefoot, like, it makes no sense. Oh god. We could alter showering Claude. Wow, I never knew you can do this. Holy cannoli. Here, let's get him out of here. No, he's back. I was in the middle of taking a bath. Don't leave. It's a trap. All right, friends, we're going to end it right here. Thank you for joining me on this, almost 2-hour stream now. It is 4:43 in the morning. The weather is cloudy. Expect some rain. Bring an umbrella. Bring a friend. And take care. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your evening, afternoon, morning. In case I don't see you, good morning, good afternoon, good night, and take care. Have a good one.